Lakely inspired, folks. Lakely inspired. Okay. All right. So, man. Whew. I woke up and I got less than probably four or five people sent me this video on the Facebook, just on my like Facebook page and the private message on Google Plus, and I'm pretty sure if I check my plus.google page, whatever, it'll be there too. And I got up and I was listening to this shit, and I was like, are they responding to that fucking travesty of a video that I was watching yesterday with Xavier while we were at Popeyes? No, they can't. They can't literally be responding to that because that was terrible. That was an awful fucking video. If you even want to call it a video, that was a dragging of one's parent. And so if those of you who've not been back to that video that I made, um, Shanny's mom, who's just now being referred to as mom, actually commented underneath the video and offered to clear up anything that, because I did mention that I have some misgivings about the mother. I don't think that she's a saint, but I do think that she, in some way, shape, or form, contributed to the way that Shanny is. I'm not just reliant upon the fact that Shanny has several mental illnesses and that she kind of molded herself into this monster that we see. And then some others who've contacted me privately have alluded to as much as, Shanny's mom sounds a lot like my mom, as far as the demeanor and whatnot. So I say, yeah, possibly. But I do appreciate Shanny's mom for reaching out and offering to clear up anything, because that shows me that people who have shit to hide really don't offer to clear up anything. Not really, but I don't think that that's what's going on here. I don't think that Shanny's mom is trying to pull what, because she doesn't have to respond to any of this. Let me just go out on a fucking limb and say that this is sad. This is people. Hold on, it's not make a lot of noise. This is sad, right? Let me really sit down for a second. How many of us have fucking dirty laundry, especially with our own parents, right? That none of our real relationships are that great. Some of us know about the home situation with others on G Plus, but we don't get to see it, right? We just kind of hear about it. Hell, sometimes I shit on my own family members because some of them are fucking retarded, but you don't see them, and they're not responding back and forth, and then just pulling all these skeletons out the closet. But there comes a point when, I understand. I do understand that the sisters and the parents are getting tired of getting shit on because she needs to be a fucking victim. I get that. I legitimately get that. But I don't think that my mom would get on here and because my mother does have a YouTube channel, but I don't think she would get on here and do that. I don't know. My mother, she might. I don't know. I don't think she knows how to live stream. Yeah, her only limitation would be is that she doesn't know how, because I helped her set up her shit. So sorry, folks. I'm in the kitchen. I was hoping that my coffee would be done, but I did it. I did it in a certain way that makes it strong. I'm trying to say it. I did it so that it's strong. It's strong. How does Shanny say things without G's? Strong. I made it strong. Strong. Okay, whatever. Oh, whew. Got some coffee from the French Quarter, folks. Cannot continue unless I have my French Quarter coffee. Whew. Mm. Mm. All I need is some beignets, and that will make this perfect. Oh God, hope you heard that. It's delicious. Okay, so we are going to listen to this because this. Okay, this is responding to the video that Shanny made just yesterday-ish. They're actually going to go over some of the claims because, mind you, some of the things that I say, and I caught this, some of the things that I say in my video, they kind of echo. And it's like, well, something doesn't sound right here. Why would we hate her and offer her shelter? Why would we continue to help her get her kids back if all we did was, abuse her? Me and Xavier pointed like inconsistencies out, and then they did the same fucking thing, right? It's almost like Shanny's making shit up and she's lying. It's a huge shock, but I'm pretty sure that the parents at least know that no one's really believing this shit. Like no one legitimately believes that mom, as she's going by now, she used to be disgruntled gardener, that she just abused Shanny all of her fucking life. I've never believed that for a fucking second. The second Shanny said that, oh, she let me and my kids stay with her, I knew that Shanny was lying. People who unless the mother wanted to, for some strange reason, to abuse Shanny, who's much larger than her, probably like what 50,000 times larger than her mother, abuse her and her kids at the same fucking time. Somehow, some way, abuse all three people simultaneously with the father there. Again, you have to really stretch your imagination to really believe the shit that Shanny says. Like my hats off to you, Rev, but to some degree, Rev, you have to know that she's just making shit up. Like, come on. Like, they can have a horrible, terrible relationship for a myriad of reasons, but there is a point where Shanny just lies, just outright fucking lies, and she knows it. And when she gets caught in it, she'll make up more lies rather than saying, you know what, that was bullshit. And Sabella, if you're out there, Sabella, you called her out on it, and you have the video proof of her hitting on Bruce. So, and I saw that, and I was like, wow. And I saw the subsequent video where she tried to say, oh, I was in jail, but then she still got the time frame wrong from the original video, and then she flagged your video to take it down because she got caught lie. I do remember that. So let's actually play this. Let's play this.
I think we're live.
Yes, you are.
Hi, I'd like to point this towards Shannon for Christ, or Shanny for Christ, as most of you know her. I just want you to know that things need to get set straight. There's a lot of things that she's reporting that's not true. There's absolutely no reason in the world for her to go around attacking your parents, or her mother especially, like she does. That woman has been sick for a long time, physically, not mentally. She is sharp as a tack. I love this woman greatly. She has done nothing wrong to this girl. I don't understand why she's been acting like this, except that she's been doing it for the past 20 years plus.
Jesus.
She's given me a great deal of grief all my entire life that I've known her. The truth of the matter is she's nuts in ways. And I really do not understand why she attacks people after.
Like, okay, let me first say that I don't know how he's kept his shit together for 20 years. Like, I legitimately, let me take my hat off to you. Since she's going by mom, you'll be dad. Dad, I couldn't have done it. Like, you are a better person than me. Oh, by the way, folks, he is actually a veteran. He'll mention this a little bit later, that they had to move because of it's something known as a BRAC. Pretty much when the armed forces say, hey, we're spending too much money and there's all these bases who really aren't doing anything, let's kind of like reconsolidate things. He got moved from Pope Air Force Base, and I think he went to North Carolina. I might be having that. I might have that backwards. He might have gone from North Carolina. He'll explain it later, whatever. But because of a BRAC, he had to move. But being in the military is stressful enough. But just imagine having to leave your duty station to go get your troubled teen who can't seem to stop putting shit inside of her or whatever, right? Just imagine that. Because let me tell you, it's really painful to have to explain to your command that you have a troubled child when you're trying to complete a mission. Just let me be right here and tell you folks that that is something that will get you fucked up in the military. Now, how many times has Shanny talked about how much she moved around and being an army brat and this, that, and the other? You would think that she'd understand that her antics would not help that. It's hard to move around when you're fucking up and when your command is looking down your throat because you're having to leave while everyone else is at work to take care of some bullshit because it's a reflection. Believe it or not, even if your kid has a mental illness, it's still a reflection on you. The people in the military don't care unless your child has some like obvious fit, like they're mentally retarded. Like that's, and again, this is military culture, folks. You may not agree with it. It is fucked up and disadvantageous if you just so happen to have a kid that's like that. But you will be looked down upon. That people will view you with scorn if you have a troubled child. It's nothing that you could have possibly done, but still, it is a reflection of you as a person. So this kind of stuff hurts on a professional level and on a personal level, and it's something that Shanny doesn't understand, and she'll probably never understand how she has probably curtailed this man's career. Quite possibly, if I had to guess, she has possibly caused him to miss certain things in his career because of her bullshit. And feel free, Dad, to correct me, but I am drawing that conclusion based on my very limited experience in the armed forces and what I've observed. But it is really not that far-fetched at all. Not that far-fetched. Troubled kid versus someone whose kid is, like physically disabled, that they don't get the same amount of leeway. If your kid's a troubled kid and they have this mental disorder that causes them to be deviant, well, the military looks at that and goes, well, or your command specifically goes, well, you're a fucked up parent. You need to deal with it. That, again, it's unfortunate, but that's the way shit goes.
They help her so much. This is something that she's done repeatedly to a lot of you people too. I mean, she will attack anybody that says nice things about her and does things for her, and then she'll turn around and stab them in the back.
Can I interject?
Yes, go right ahead.
I'm sorry. First of all, hello everybody. This is my first live stream. I've never done a live stream before. I've only tested the live stream thing out. I just want to make you aware that my husband was here on the day that Shannon's last video talks about. He was here the entire day. We had the police over how many times that day?
3.
3 times, yeah. He was here the whole time, which is one thing.
But
he was here.
Times.
Yeah, he had to take off work lots of times because of
That's what I'm talking about.
her antics, for lack of a better word, and whatnot. But Shannon's going to say stuff no matter what. She does have borderline personality disorder, and I have not responded to her. I've closed my accounts down because she had little trolls that were bothering me. He knows because I said, oh, I've got to do this. I can't take this anymore. There's a lot of people like in the community, the great debate community, that I absolutely have a lot of respect for and have been very supportive during this time when Shannon does nothing but attack her family, mostly me. I gotta admit it, but I'm trying to take this where I'm not, blubbering or crying about it or anything, because I have to remember that she does have a mental illness, and a lot of the behavior and the characteristics that she has are characteristic of borderline personality disorder. I was originally going to have this live stream. Originally, I was going to do it Saturday night. I let a couple people know. Of course, they didn't answer me back on it, and I don't blame them. I think a lot of people kind of want to get away from her, and
Don't say.
especially with the situation, with the way she's been presenting herself online, for lack of a better way to say it, recently. I had to step away from her. I had to step away from people on YouTube that knew her, and listening to how they're trying to figure out why she's the way she is and why she keeps lying and why, you know, she
Please
says
inform
the
us.
things that she does and always stirring up trouble. She likes to attract negative attention.
Huh.
And the purpose of this video is not to give her negative attention. It's because
Now the mother just said, Mom just said something we have been noticing literally for years, that she loves that negative attention. Like she strongly desires that negative attention. And it is bewildering to, I mean, those of us who, you know, understand, I guess like high school drama. We know the people who are drama whores. We know the folks who love getting in. Well, the term now, well, the phrase now is spilling the tea, all that kind of stuff. But there's a certain je ne sais quoi about just the stuff that Shanny does, because you can get information, you can get the scoop on something, but when you actively try to instigate negative scenarios with people, like that is something I think that's truly unique. Like if you really want to garner attention, it doesn't have to be necessarily negative, but she seeks it, but she instigates it. That's the unique thing. And I think that's what the mother here is trying to, mom is trying to highlight, is that it has to be negative attention when she is receiving all the warmth and the wealth of well wishes and stuff like that from people. She doesn't like that. That's uncomfortable. That's bad. No, bad kindness, bad. She wants the drama, and she wants it to be spicy. She wants it to bite her in the ass because she needs to feel something there. Whatever that void is that food won't fill, she needs this negative ass attention. And that is what's totally pathetic. Absolutely fucking pathetic. And for her to simply, we'll just say, well, I'm mentally ill. And I talked about this last time, actually a few fucking hours ago when I was awake, that it hiding behind a mental illness is totally pathetic, and it does not speak well for any of us who share a lot of her mental illnesses. Now, I am not going to sit here and pretend to say that I know what borderline personality disorder is like. No, but if you know you have a mental illness, you know that you can get some fucking prescriptions or some type of intervention for whatever this illness is, and you decide, not at the behest of a medical professional, but you, the person who's ill, decide that, well, no, I'm not going to take that, then you lose that ability to say, well, it's my mental ill. No, it's your inability to not take care of yourself. You desire whatever this illness is presenting, and you don't care. You're neglecting your own mental health. You're neglecting yourself. And so now other people have to suffer because of that. It is selfish. It is incredibly, incredibly selfish. And that's something that she cannot comprehend, because she will not take any personal responsibility for anything. And without, mind you, I've probably watched less than half of this video. And I said, screw it. I'm just going to play it because some people have seen it. Some people have not. Some people won't watch these videos unless I do a commentary on it. So fine. But it's sad. It is absolutely sad, because you see her parents here acknowledging her mental illness, and the mother even states that I'm not going to give her a pass because of that. And that's right. And she shouldn't get a pass because of that. She should not. There's plenty of people who suffer from mental illnesses far, far worse than that. Far worse. There are people who suffer with homicidal ideation and suicidal ideation every goddamn day. Some of them I know. But guess what? They pull their pants on one leg at a goddamn time, and they go to fuck to work. They try their very best to be well-adjusted adults in society. They don't make excuses for their actions and put their families skeletons, the entire graveyard's worth. This is at this point it's a mausoleum. It's a crypt of skeletons out there for the world's consumption. And for what? What does she actually gain from this? You have to really ask yourself, if she's so happy, which a lot of us heard, what, a week or two ago, that she's a happy and rich woman, mind you, a rich woman, and she's so happy. Why is she digging up these skeletons? I thought she was over this. I could have swore that she was a happy rich woman. And then she couldn't be any happier in Colorado, smoking weed, not working, not really doing much of any goddamn thing with her life. Oh, but she's bored. Oh, what? Oh, I forgot I had a husband behind me. Whoops. I love you though, honey. But I'm bored. I need something in my life. Let me just shit on my parents. How terrible of a fucking person you gotta be. You know, even if your parents were abusive, let's just say mom and dad, you were beating the ever living dog shit out of her every day. If she's not with you anymore, why even bother bringing them up? Why even make them a part of the conversation? If you're a happy rich woman who moved on with her life, who's smoking, not working, not really doing much of anything, not a care in the goddamn world, other than you just taking care of your fucking kids, which should be the fucking focus, why are the parents even a part of the equation if you've moved on? Because you haven't. Because this needs to be something in your life so that you feel that desire, whatever it is in that void that exists, that resides inside you. You need that. And it has to be filled with something negative, even though it doesn't actually impact your life. That's sad.
Addresses these things about her mother, but she forgets that her father was here during the time that she lived here, and especially that last day that she keeps talking about over and over again. But anyway, what I want to do is I want to have Joe take a look at the video. I'm going to bring the video up of what she made today and what she said. This is the first time he's ever seen one of her videos in its entirety. So
I'm not sure I'm ready for this.
I'm so sorry.
None of us are ready.
I hope I don't start crying, but I don't think I'm going to. I'm just angry about her attacking me like this. It's just so often. She has no reason for it. She's got a good life now, doesn't she?
Well,
really,
that's the thing. I mean, she has everything that she wanted, that she said that she wanted, and she's got it now, and she has all the weed she wants to smoke. She's able to buy whatever she wants. She called me materialistic last year, if you remember, because I went to the dollar store and I bought decorations for my Christmas tree.
And she's the one with the...
And I'm not materialistic. I'm actually like this little bumpkin who, grows her own food, and, a lot of the things that I have are secondhand. And
she's the one with the velour
stiletto. And it's not just me. I mean, that's just how we choose to live.
The velour stiletto chairs.
What?
You didn't see those chairs, did you?
No, but I mean, God.
Well, I know. All right, that's her choice. She wants to live like that. That's fine. I don't have a problem with that. I want her to be happy with her life. I really do. And
well, why can't she just be happy with what she has and know that we're all right?
Because
I mean, she knows we're all right. We are okay. I mean, we got some physical issues, but damn it, we're happy together. We love each other.
We've had a lot of physical issues. I had 2 major heart surgeries in the last 2 years, and I actually spent a good portion of every week of my life, and sometimes every other day, in a chair receiving blood products. I was bleeding somewhere internally, and it actually took them 2 years to figure out where that was coming from, believe it or not.
God damn.
Issues with the hospital, and we switched hospitals since.
Yeah, I would hope so.
Well. I feel a lot better. than I have in a long time. And my husband has had, you know, surgery.
2 knee surgeries.
So as they've been talking, I've been, because I heard them mention the velour stiletto chairs, and it didn't really, I guess, click with me. I didn't understand what they were saying because I heard words in a series, and it didn't. Okay, whatever. So as they were talking about it, I went and looked up what they're talking about now, and I'm not sure if this is it, but I think this is what they're talking about. Let me show you. I have questions. I have questions, folks. Okay, so this is a velour stiletto chair. Well, I don't think it's the velour material, but I just I have, okay. So there's obviously one question I kind of think we all have right now as to why Shanny would even own this thing. It's gaudy. It's really, I don't know a person who goes, you know what, this barely functional chair is something that I would love in my home for people to sit on. And I think that the second obvious question is, how does she sit on it? But anyway, so barring that, I can't. I can't, folks. I can't. So
Yeah.
Kidney surgery.
And this is about the
And I
time.
got another one coming up.
Yeah, he does. He has another one coming up. And we just try to stay strong for each other. We're just hanging in here, you know. I mean, the last thing I want to do, I don't have any problem. I'm gonna be united on this, right?
No.
We don't have any problem with our other kids. We have a very happy family. We have grandchildren. We're actually going to be all together in November.
Except for Shannon and her family.
Yeah. And really, honestly, when we do get together as a family, what she doesn't realize is that we all end up at some point in the holidays talking about her and how much it hurts not having her there and how much we miss her. You know, and we miss her. She left us before she left us physically. I mean, whatever her mental illness has done to her. And I don't want to use her mental illness always as an excuse, because she does make choices for herself. She's had I know I get a lot of questions all the time from people on YouTube that, you know, watch her behavior, and it's like, well, I know Christina Blackfeather. Several people have asked, you know, well, hasn't she gotten any therapy? And yeah, she's gotten therapy over the years, and many times. The problem is our mental health system is so poor in this country that when you don't have health insurance, it's really expensive.
And it's really not that great in this area either.
No, it's not that great in this area. We're really limited up here because we're so far up north. The area here has failed her. Yeah, we're definitely.
I mean, she had mental health issues here, and social services was aware of it, and they didn't help her. It didn't help her at all.
No,
obviously.
It didn't help her at all. She had lost her kids while she was here, and it's ironic because I noticed in her videos she's always trying to blame me for calling social services.
Oh.
But the person that called social services
Here we go, folks.
On her was her ex-husband's mother.
Whoa. Huh. Really? So I don't know if you guys remember this. There were a series of videos where, and you guys can thank Godless Girl in part for this, where they were perpetuating the idea that somehow Holy Spackle called social services and had the kids removed. Now, when I first heard that, I was like, well, I'm not sure how Godless Girl would even know that. And I said, well, I talked to Deidre, and Deidre said, no, they heard a comment that I made about calling social services if Shanny flipped out, and that she would have to, you know, hypothetically. But then that got retroactively applied to when social services was actually called to take her kids. Now I remember, and Mom can correct me if I'm wrong, but Mom had stated previously that Shanny knew exactly who called, or at least had an idea. And I don't even believe that the Holy Spackle even knew her address. or how to even contact her. If anything, the mom would have been the one to call, Child Protective Services, since she was very intimately aware of what was going on in the household that would warrant such action. So she knows who actually called and under what circumstances. But and I've said this before, if Child Protective Services is called and nothing happens, then fine. It's about the child's welfare, not about your fucking feelings. Now, if you're, if holy shit, I need to get that thing fixed. Jesus, if Child Protective Services gets a phone call and they come to the residence and they find reason to take the kids, it shouldn't matter who was called. It should matter that the kids were in a position to be taken in the first place. That, like, the focus on that whole scenario is, again, not in anywhere where Shanny can actually take responsibility. She should be concerned with the fact that yes, her kids got taken, but what did you allow to transpire for that to happen? That is a failure as a parent. That is a failure. Let me repeat that. As a failure as a parent. As a parent, you, Shanny, not anyone else, not Chris. Actually, I do blame Chris for that because he was a daddy at the time. At the time, he was a dad. Yeah. So Chris, you get some blame too. Fuck you, cheating ass asshole. Chris, it's your fucking fault too. Shanny, it's your fucking fault. Y'all are parents. Yes, if my kid gets taken, guess who's fucking fault? I can't blame my parents. I can't blame my in-laws. I can't blame other people. Cap, the link to the video, the original one, is in the description. If any of you guys want to save this video, it's in the description. But you are the goddamn parents. It is your fault. But you want to know what's really interesting? You won't take responsibility for your kids being taken, but you want your mother to take responsibility for what happened to you. Now, that's really strange to me. Well, on the one hand, parents should take responsibility for what happens to their kids. And I want to say that's a verbatim quote from Shanny's recent video, but she won't actually do it when it comes to her own fucking kids. I find that terribly ironic. Terribly ironic. You want other people to live values that you yourself can't live. And that must sting. That must really hurt. But that's the fucking truth. It shouldn't even matter. But we know now. We know now that Shanny's lying again. That her mother-in-law called CPS because she was concerned for the kids who weren't even biologically Chris's, from what I understand. But fine. So, I mean, Dave Weiser, you can be upset all day long. But no, don't. I know David Weiser's been stirring the shit. Let him speak. That's fine. He's been perpetuating this shit too. But we're getting the other side of this story now because Shanny's already made up shit. Y'all are actually going to hear later. You're going to hear later when Shanny was talking about, oh, she said I never had a job. And I knew that was a fucking lie because I watched the original video, the original one when she was on her disgruntled Gardner account. And when she was talking about, yes, Shanny had a job, but she downplayed it. At no point in time did she say, oh, she never had a job. Well, how would she never have a job, but then also downplay her daughter's job? Like that inconsistency, just little things like that you know that Shanny's bullshitting again. Well, if y'all are wondering, Dave has been sucking Shanny's fucking asshole. So, you know, that he's going to say whatever appeases Shanny. Doesn't matter if it's the truth or not. So it's crazy to me that she thinks that people believe the bullshit when a lot of us have been following this since before Disgruntled Gardner started making separate videos, because she used to just comment. Again, a lot of us have been around for a little bit watching this. Some of us have been communicating with her in private too. Some of us have been tracking. Oh, by the way, Shanny, when you delete those videos, they're not deleted. There's several people who actually fucking download them so we can catch you in lies. Huh. Man, it's almost like a lot of us came up with the plan when you assholes started doing that in other cases. So don't be shocked when we start noticing inconsistencies because we have the record of the videos and the dates and the timestamps on them. It's not very hard to do. It's not hard at all. But deleting it doesn't make it go away. So before people start trying to suck from the assholes of people who are disingenuous, you might want to keep that in mind, that there is a record. If I want the video Shanny just deleted, I know who to message. Keep that in mind. be very careful about the shit that you say, because I will catch you in a lie. It's almost like I've done it before. It's almost like I did it to someone else who kept lying, and I had a record of their lies. It's almost like I'd gotten really fucking good at this. Practice makes motherfucking perfect.
She's the one that called, and my husband always said, why didn't you just call me at work? I could have calmed her down. You know, we could have taken care of this. Oh, that's my dog. Sorry. Come here, baby. Are you going to show her?
Yeah, this is Molly.
She's kind of scruffy looking. She needs a bath really bad. Sorry.
Don't bark no more.
But yeah, what happened is, speaking of the mental health situation, getting back to that, it costs a lot of money to go see someone. Sometimes they want to see you every week. Sometimes they want to see you once a month. Even at once a month, the fees are so high. And when you're working on at a minimum wage job, or like her, not working at all.
Yeah. So let me actually comment on that. So I've actually shared with you guys that I've seen a mental health professional, and luckily I had the VA because I actually served military. The VA paid for it, and it just so happened that the lady had mentioned her regular fee if I wanted to see her, off of the VA's consultation, that it's about $120 a session, if I'm not mistaken. She might have said hour, might have said session. Either way, that's fucking expensive. I spent an hour with, I spent a good, at least a good hour with her. So that shit gets expensive, and I understand that. Absolutely. But the parents have indicated that yes, they've tried. They have tried to intervene to give her the help that she needs. Again, this country, at any point in time, she says that all they did was harm me, and that at the same time she acknowledges, yes, they tried to help me seek treatment for my mental illness. Those two things don't jive with one another. You don't help someone that you're trying to harm. You say fuck you and deal with it. It's crazy. You can't hold both of those statements as true. They contradict one another. Again, these are some of the things that we look at if you're really trying to figure out what's the bullshit. But Shanny's she already has a track record with most of us. We already know that she's just going to make shit up because, well, you know what, whatever, right? She needs whatever that thing. It's so nebulous and so negative. It needs a name. I don't even know what to name it. I think I'll call it a Gary. So she needs this Gary to fill her with something that she terribly desires deep inside of her. And whatever this Gary is, she wants it. She wants it and she craves it desperately. And it's sad.
Which she does most of the time. She really, since since her first job, she's never had a job longer than just a few weeks. But that's also typical of people with borderline personality disorder. And like she'll get a job and then she'll be there for a couple weeks and something will happen.
And this is consistent with the other video, the shower video, where she says that she downplays Shanny's employment. Again, the mother's been consistent from what I've seen. The mother has always downplayed her employment because of her antics, because of her behavior, because of her lack of ability to take responsibility for anything. That's been consistent. So then when Shanny goes, oh no, well, she says I never had a job. No, and you know what? I will make an entire video apologizing if someone can provide me where the mom says she's never had a job or she never had a job during the duration of their last stay before the cops were called and her and her kids absconded to the motel or wherever. So I would love to see that, because from what I've seen, the mother has only downplayed the employment. But here we go. She's being consistent.
She's not going back again, and it's happened over and over. And I think that
it's kind of sad, and I imagine it has to be really hard on your, esteem. It's got to hurt when you're not wanted back at your job for some reason or other. And some of it is really unfair in this world because your looks count for a lot, and that's unfortunate. But the thing is they see her in some of this outfits that she's wearing, or like the veil or the garish makeup and things like that.
Oh, on the videos, yeah. Social services up here was watching her when her kids were taken away on YouTube.
You get judged for that alone itself.
Oh wow!
So if you look kind of crazy, people are going to think you are.
Yeah. Okay. So
but the thing is
so okay. Let me reiterate. So folks, they have verified that yes, she has an official diagnosis with borderline personality disorder. The mother has casually mentioned in the past, of course, about the depression and some anxiety. The PTSD, I think, was in the previous video, but that was, I believe, downplayed. Don't quote me on that. I have to go back and listen to it. But the mother has consistently acknowledged that, yes, Shanny does actually have borderline personality disorder. So they mentioned a little while ago that take response. No, the fuck she doesn't. So David, people who take responsibilities for their kids don't get them taken by CPS. Just a little tidbit for me to you. People that I know who are responsible ass parents have never had their kids taken by CPS. I'm just gonna throw that out there. If you are taking care of your shit, if you are a bomb ass parent, even if you're a half decent parent, CPS shouldn't be taking your goddamn kids. Okay. If CPS is seeing these crazy ass videos that she's making and they're seeing the conditions that the kids are living and they take them, guess what? You're not taking care of responsibilities, are you? I mean, like, I don't know how you in your mind contort reality so that she can be a terrible parent, get the kids taken. Oh no, but she take care of the kids now. Yeah. Maybe now she does because she knows what'll fucking happen. My kid has never been taken by CPS. Guess what? I'm not a shitty fucking parent. My cousin's kid's never been taken by CPS. Guess what? Because he's not a shitty fucking parent. All the people in my life who've always taken care of their kids have never had their kids taken by CPS. People like Von Helton deserve their kids taken because they're terrible parents. They shouldn't be even procreated. I'm just gonna throw that out there. That man should never have kids. And it's looking like Shanny shouldn't either. If Shanny can't be an adult, why should she have kids? If she can't take responsibility and take care of her own self, why should she be in charge of little people who are desperate for someone to take care of them? Just saying. Oh, she doesn't have. So now it changes. Okay, so now, yeah, she doesn't have. So she must be doing something now, so where she's taking care of herself. Yes, that seems reasonable. Yes, Shanny's definitely. So her being on here and shitting on her parents, that's setting a great example for those fucking kids. That is awesome. That is awesome. You are absolutely right, David. Man, jeez. Yeah, thank you, CRISPR. Like, if you're actually trying, they won't take the kids. But it's like, I guarantee you, if the parents were to read off the CPS report, people would probably be appalled. I mean, just I can only imagine, because Von Helton did it, and I loved it because it was exactly what people had pointed out by them. People just watching through his camera, just through her camera. Through her camera. It's craziness. You said that. Yes. Well, you know what, David? It kind of takes people to report the condition, but you kind of have to know where they are. If they move the kids around and no one knows where they are, how do you report them? I'm just going to throw that out there. So I can't verify that the kids are being mistreated now, nor can I say that they're being treated well. I don't know. But the fact that she had the kids taken just once, in my mind, tells me that she was a terrible parent. If her behavior hasn't changed any, why would I conclude that she's been a better parent just because she's eluded CPS? Like, I'm sorry, though. You if you're saying that because she's been able to, like, be evasive and not be detected, that somehow means that she's doing better. No, that doesn't actually follow, because you're making a lot of presumptions there. So yeah, she would have to change her behavior, David. And according to the parents, ain't shit changed. So I would guess that the parents would know her more than, I don't know, any of us. But let's see what the parents have to say.
she's done some pretty nutty things to us.
Well,
Really?
what I was going to finish saying is with the mental health thing, what happened with her is they had her, that she was diagnosed wrong. She was not diagnosed with borderline personality disorder originally. They diagnosed her as being bipolar. And a lot of times they can be bipolar along with the borderline personality disorder.
I learned something new.
But the SSRIs, the antidepressants that they put them on, can actually make borderline worse. And in her case, that's almost exactly what happened. She was on a pretty hefty dose of Prozac at that time. It was like 40 milligrams or something like that, I think. Don't quote me on it, but she was on a pretty hefty dose of it, went cold turkey off of it, decided she had it. They see things in their mind with the borderline personality disorder. So she had it in her mind that Chris.
I agree, happy face.
This is before they got married. She was living with him at the time, with her boys, and she cut her wrists.
Really?
And Chris's mother came over and called the police and Child Protective Services, and that's when they had taken them.
They were living in our house, but the thing is I wasn't home, and neither was she. I was at work, and she was out at.
I wasn't. I was down in North.
So, really, we learned something new, folks. So this very sane and rational person decides that she wants to stop because mind you, folks, people who are rational and understand the situation that they're in and who take responsibility for themselves, they definitely stop taking medication because that's what you do. And so from that is just a tumble of a downward spiral of events where she cuts her own wrists, and Child Protective Services are called from the mother-in-law, Chris's, the previous husband, his mother. Sounds like a responsible thing to do. Now, okay, well, Dragnot, what would make you think that things have remained the same? Is Shanny back on her meds? If the answer is yes, then yes, I would say things have gotten better. If Shanny is not back on those medications or some medications of some sort that's prescribed by a doctor, then no, she is not better. No, and she shouldn't have kids. So there you go.
North Carolina, I was with Shannon's brother because he was trying to get through college at the time.
Oh, that's
and I was
right.
helping him pay for his apartment and that kind of thing.
Yes, she does need to apologize, happy face, but she won't. And people like David won't make her.
So before I moved back up here, because he moved up here because we used to live down in North Carolina, but Pope Air Force Base closed down. My husband is
if you can't afford meds, that's different.
And he still works for the government, and they closed Pope Air Force Base down, and he ended up getting a job up here.
Transferred up here
at the 148th Fighter Wing, and he's been up here for over 10 years.
10 years now.
Yeah, for quite a while. But anyway, I keep jumping around.
Okay, yeah. So this is the part of the video that I was talking about where what he's talking, what the mother is talking about, and what the dad verified was that he was a part of a BRAC, and BRAC, and that's when the military starts to consolidate some of its assets. And so if there's a base that isn't really performing, it's not really performance issues. Let me try and phrase this better. When they need to kind of trim down the force and to make certain areas of the force more effective, they'll just move those assets to a larger base and then just have them kind of combine with them and be their assets rather than having a whole separate element. And so when that happens, then you have to relocate people's families. And so more than likely, dad here was a part of that BRAC. My in-laws were actually part of a BRAC from Fort Monmouth, and then they moved to Aberdeen Proving Ground. So yeah. So how about this? Let's see. You guys, okay, how about this? I will put the link in the drag chat then, if you guys want in. I'm not going to leave this open too long. I don't even know if I'll, you know. Hold on. need to check G Plus more often. All right, so if you do want the link, it's in the drag chat. I'm posting in there. Oh, I didn't get a. Oh, I knew I wouldn't get a copyright strike for the music in Popeyes. No one knows what Zydeco is. That's why. That's so sad, though. That's so sad. All right, link is in drag chat, folks. If you want in, there we go. That's sad, though.
So sorry. I'm trying to get my thoughts together. We kind of did this impromptu. I actually wasn't going to do. Wanted to do a live stream Saturday. Nobody took interest in it, so I kind of said, "Oh well, the heck with it. I'll just, maybe I should just." Maybe
What's going on?
She hasn't talked about me in the last week or so.
I forgot to mute the other audio.
So I'm fine. Boom. Today she has the video on. About bringing me up on it when she doesn't even know we're my new channel or anything like that.
This is
now.
It really is.
Impromptu. But I want him to hear her, what she says. And he was here that day. He was here through the whole thing when she came to me. She had just gotten out of jail, and I think she was at behavioral health. She's been in behavioral health many, many times.
Really?
He can tell you because he's the one who called the police for help when she used to get really wacky doodles and go crazy and yelling and screaming and drinking really heavily and partying with her friends and then fighting with her friends. Who was that girl she got in that fight with in the car?
Now, remember, hey, now, Xavier, last night, you remember when I was talking about the issue that Shanny had with her. Yeah, go ahead and invite David. Go ahead and get him in here because I would love to hear him suck the whatever out of her asshole. Remember last night, Xavier, when I said the mother and the father probably had issues with the friends that she kept. They were probably friends who weren't that great.
Yes.
Did you heard? So actually, I was live when I said that. So did you hear me say that as well, Blue?
Yeah.
Or actually, it was kind of late. You probably didn't. Did you see my last video, Blue? Okay,
no, I didn't see it. I haven't watched it yet. I've still got to catch up with that.
No, I didn't either, and I'm trying to see how the hell you get David in here.
Okay, so last night I did say that, and I had a feeling because she was very vague as to what type of friends that the mother didn't want her to have. And I said, well, usually when Shanny's vague, she's leaving out key details, and then that's so she can paint a picture of some sort. And this actually verifies what I had said last night. Is that she was hanging around friends of I think I used the phrase ill repute. And so thank you, Mom, for verifying exactly what I thought it was. She's hanging out with friends, getting fucking drunk, getting in fights and shit. And so, hey.
Hey, no, Drag, you're still not going far enough.
I'm not? Okay.
She was hanging around a crack house.
Hey, crack. Did the mom say crack? She didn't say crack house.
Her first boyfriend was a crackhead, or her first husband.
Oh yeah, the first husband was a crackhead.
You don't just walk into that. That's not like. I take this as far as it logically goes.
You know what? It wouldn't be surprising if your first husband's a crackhead. Where do you find crackheads?
At the crack house.
Well, there you go. I would love a video explaining where she found the crackhead first husband. Just I want to hear. Well, he wasn't a crackhead. He tripped and he fell, and a piece of crack was on the ground, and so it got in his mouth, and he started licking his lips real hard.
That's disgusting. But apparently, you need to post a link in the chat for David to come in here. I don't know if you want to do that.
Sure, I'll put it on camera, man. Fine.
I've just tried to search for him and I can't find him.
Did you try Shanny's asshole?
I knew that was coming.
We all knew it was coming.
Oh God. Well, yeah, just put it in here and let him come on. I'll just mute.
You're just gonna put it in and come right there?
Just put it in and leave it.
It's usually my policy.
Don't move.
Just Kavanaugh. It's fucking.
No fast pull-out game?
Oh, here he is.
Okay, there we go. All right, so I'm very curious as to what the Shanny apologetics will be for this.
It is
Is that a new
apologetic.
thing now?
It is.
Shanny apologetics?
It is
Shanny
apologetic. Oh my god.
Oh, sorry about that. I'll mute.
Look, folks, if both of my parents get on here and tell you that I've been a shitty person, it really.
Oh my god. I think the captain should join as well. Get captain in here. I know he's on the toilet at the minute, but he should join still.
I'm like, he's talked to me and drag from the toilet before.
Yeah.
Okay, that was weird. My audio on the stream just clicked on.
What's up, guys? Can you hear me?
Oh, it's very, very faint.
Are you Crimson? Are you talking from a tin can?
He's in the toilet.
Yeah. Give me a second. Let me switch mic. Is that better?
Yeah.
Way better.
Oh, yeah. I hit the wrong mic. Activated.
Yeah, on a scale of 1 to 47, your mic was a negative 300.
So how are you folks doing today?
Oh, this is a wonderful Sunday morning. Doing some church.
Can you all hear me?
Yep.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, Fiona.
Okay. Now, as far as the previous allegations you guys are mentioning from like so many years ago, I wasn't around Shanny or anybody in the Great Debate community all that often enough to be aware of any of those events. So I'm only going by what I see from my own eyes on YouTube and what I hear her talk about. And the stuff that I hear her folks say, I find very disturbing.
It's not as disturbing as what Shanny does on camera, to be fair. Do you not think?
Other than the fact that it seems like she's getting high way too often. I really don't see a problem there.
Okay. So what about when her children are ill off school and she's ripping on a bong and telling her children to go back to their beds to rest, which means, as I interpret it, to get out while I'm on YouTube and ripping on a bong.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Exactly.
Man,
well, you're not watching
amazing
as many
what
videos
he
as
sees
I am.
and doesn't see.
It's exactly. You're not watching as many videos that as I watch. Then, unfortunately for me.
Well, I'm not. I mean,
that was last week.
In spite of what you all are saying, David. Okay. In spite of what you all are saying, I'm not up Shanny's ass. Okay, I don't watch all her videos all the time.
So
maybe you should.
Okay, well, so how are you commenting on what she doesn't do when you've just said that you really don't watch the videos?
Because I don't see it, so therefore
it doesn't exist if you don't see it.
So you don't see it, so therefore it doesn't happen. Brilliant.
I'm not saying that at all. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying I can. You want me to say that it happens when I didn't see it happen?
I'm telling you, it happened.
Could I just bring something else up here, David? You said you've not been around for very long, you're watching this sort of thing, and you don't know about these accusations that go back. Well, let me tell you. Let me tell you this. Initially, Shanny accused Alex Boughton of being the one that called CPS on her, right? She accused Alex Boughton. He's in the UK. You think that CPS are going to take a report from someone in the UK? That was laughed off. She then accused Holy Spackle. And she's got others repeating that accusation against Holy Spackle. And then only last month, she then said it was Miss Starr that did it. And in fact, one of her little compadres has repeated that in one of his videos that Miss Starr called CPS. Now, here's the thing. All of these accusations are going back to a single instance years ago of when CPS was called. And her mum, in the video that Drag is now playing back, has just said that Chris's mom was the one that phoned CPS. Not Alex Boughton, not Holy Spackle, not Ms. Starr. Can you square that circle?
Because
Well,
I don't know of any of those events. I wasn't a witness to any of those events.
Yeah, well, some of us were. Some of us were. And so when we say anything about it and you come after us and you call us for everything for saying it, maybe, just maybe, you should wind your neck in, pal.
What did you just say?
I said, wind your neck in.
I'm assuming it's a Scottish expression.
It means
Somebody-
be quiet.
No, it means stop poking into things if you don't know anything about them. Stop having a go at people for saying things when they did witness it. It seems to be if you didn't say it, it didn't happen. I've got news for you, pal. There's a lot of things that happen in this world that you don't witness that
Now
do
you're
happen.
putting words in my mouth. What I'm saying is I didn't see it, so I can't say it happened.
So why do you then attack
same
people
thing.
who do mention it?
No, it's not
That's
the
what
same
I'm saying.
thing. I can't say something happened if I didn't witness it.
But you're
I'm
saying
not saying that. I'm saying don't attack the people that are telling you what happened. That's what I'm telling you.
As far as I know, I haven't attacked anyone.
What was it? Was a demonic or was it satanic, David? Can you remember?
What are you
was it
talking about?
What you called me?
What did? Oh, I said that you might as well be an atheist for all practical purposes. That's, I think, the meanest thing I've ever said.
Oh, is it now? You really think so?
I don't recall
And
saying
that was
anything
all.
worse.
And that was all said in response to me trying to enlighten you about what I have witnessed happening.
I don't recall ever discussing with you.
So, therefore, you have gone after people for solely recounting what they have witnessed themselves, because you haven't witnessed it.
The
so
only person,
so therefore, I've
let
got
me
to
correct
attack
you on a
people.
little bit of fact here. The only person I ever said that I believed mentioned Shanny's kids in a negative way or treatment of them was Miss Starr. That's the only person I ever said made any comment about her kids, because I have heard her say that she was a bad parent. Other than that, I haven't heard anyone recently try to say that she did whatever with her kids.
Hear no evil, see no evil, speak no evil. Is that it? Is that it?
But I'm hearing all of you talk about what she might have done back in the past, and I'm looking at what y'all are saying back about her back then, and I'm comparing to what I'm seeing now, and the two don't square to me.
Things happened. These things happened. She accused Alex Bolton. She accused Spackle. And in fact, on the basis of that, somebody doxed Spackle. Somebody doxed her because of it. And it wasn't that long ago, David.
Okay, so
6 months ago.
she's had a problem, and now she's better.
No, so she's been lying through her teeth.
Hang on, though. Sorry.
Every time she falls out with someone, she changes it to they were the ones that phoned CPS that time. That's what she does.
Fiona, can I just say, David, she's had a problem and now she's better. What's the problem that you're identifying?
I'm saying
there?
if I'm going by what you all are saying, then she probably had a problem and now she's better.
Well, which problem? What problem though?
Whatever it was, she don't have that problem now.
If you don't know what the problem is, how do you know that it's better?
Right.
You all are saying she had a problem. I can look at her now and tell that she doesn't have a problem.
Man.
Okay, can I just say,
It's amazing how mental illness works, right? You just look at someone and you can tell if they're still ill.
I mean, I can tell from her videos that she's just making a video.
But hang on, is she?
Other than the fact that she's griping about her relationship with her family or parents rather, and she's seems to be getting high an awful lot, which I find a little bit.
Is that a problem?
Except
sorry, Drag. I need to stop cutting over people.
But that's not. I mean, there are worse people out there than her.
Well, sure, Hitler's way worse than anyone. But if we set that up, well, Hitler's the worst person that ever lived, and so anyone short of him is fine. Like,
Greg, you're being ridiculous, man. Really.
Well, I'm pointing out how ridiculous your statement is. Well, except for all the obvious maladaptive traits that she has.
You just want to bash Shanny. That's all it is.
So no, I could bash her for being fat. Let's just be completely honest. Let me put that out.
And you probably have
every single day about how fucking fat and nasty she is. No. No. Okay. I had like at least 4 people send me this video. So I decided to do a review of it because I could have taken the few videos that she did last night and rip her to shreds. But I said, let me actually watch this video and get the record straight. Let me actually see the inconsistencies instead of the people who are just sucking claims from her asshole, who have no idea what's been going on,
Why do you have?
who can
Okay, why do you have to say stuff
somehow
like that?
watch her
What,
videos
Greg,
and psychically know what's going on in her head.
Hold on. Why do you have to say stuff like that?
Because it's my fucking channel. That's why.
I mean, because it was stupid, man. I'm not sucking anybody's asshole.
Metaphorically, you are. You have no idea what's going on.
That's
but
your
now you're
stupid
psychic.
opinion, man. I'm not sucking Shanny's asshole. I mean, I watch a few of her videos, but I'm not like 24/7 watching her video. I got my own damn life, man.
I think you need, if you want to comment on that she's a good person or make a judgment, you need to watch more.
Mm-hmm.
Because I've watched her put a gas mask bong on her face. I mean, I'm guessing that's what it was. Sucking on that bong. Christ knows where her kids are. Well, they might be at school, so I'll give that to her. Okay.
I will give you all that. That does bother me a little bit.
Right. Okay. So you need to stop behaving like she's
I'm not
going to
join. I'm not going to join them on the gang up on Shanny bandwagon because I think she's getting enough abuse from the lot of you as it is.
Hey, David, can I say something?
Yeah.
First of all, I never did call CPS. What I did do was I threatened to call the police in her live chat when her mom was watching at the time when she was living with her mom because she was saying she wanted to die and kill herself. And they said, well, if you do that, I will be forced to call the police. And then CPS is going to grab your kids, and you don't want to do that. And I deliberately said that in live chat so that her mother would knock on the door and interrupt whatever was going on. Because she was just spiraling in this emotional thing of like, I'm going to just die. I want to die, and being bizarre. So she knocks on the door. Shanny opens the door, and off camera we hear bang, boom, 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 boom.
Oh, I was
boom.
there for that.
And I was like, oh my God, I just got her mom beat. Like I'm telling you, the woman is not. So right now you're telling me that she's normal, but let me tell you something. You can get high and be like, oh, hey, I feel kind of good. Or you can be baked and really teaching Shanghai. She's teaching Shanghai. She is out of her mind.
Yeah.
So,
all the good parents I know get high every day, and definitely they're capable of taking care of their kids.
So if Rev is high and also has had some issues with his brain because he's had seizures and he's just completely out of it, and she's where are the kids and who's freaking taking care of them? I'm not calling CPS, but I'm gonna say this, that I would definitely encourage someone who lives next to her to. Just saying.
Well, that's fine. Do that.
Well, except for all the maladaptive traits that we all see, Shanny's fine.
Yeah. And is busy slandering other people.
Like, it's crazy. She can go on a tirade and shit on her parents. Have you gotten on her case for shitting on her parents like this?
No, because maybe her parents are actual assholes.
Wait, hold on. I love this. I love this. So wait, so it's okay for Shanny to comment on her parents who are probably assholes, which you have no actual idea. But then when someone else
watching that last video, I certainly do.
You watched the last video, man. That's cool of you, David. Man, you're so caught up now, right?
Well,
when someone does it to her, what kind of child gets high all day when they have kids to take care of?
What kind of parent would say the things about their kids that they have said about her?
You know what?
Even if it were true, even if it happened to be true, you don't basically accuse your child of being a child molester.
That's fine, right? We'll say the parents are shit.
That's not child molestation. That was pedestry, and there is a three-year statute between that. So when we look at an 18-year-old that slept with a 15-year-old, we think there's something wrong, but it isn't child molestation per se.
It is in some states.
Yeah, but regardless.
It's statutory rape, yes. But
regardless.
Here's the question, David, for you. So how do you know the difference between Shanny being the liar and them being the liar?
Because of what they've been saying about.
Well,
Okay.
Nice one, Cliff.
Because of what they're saying about their kids in public, about their child in public, even if it were true, you don't say stuff like that in public.
But it doesn't mean it's not true, though, does it, David? It means that they're just airing their dirty
that means
laundry in
David.
even if it were true, it does. You just don't say stuff like that in public.
So it could be true. So
about family members.
sorry, Fiona. It could be true.
David, I gave you a way of telling you who's been telling lies.
You're misunderstanding what I'm saying.
Listen to me carefully, David. Someone called CPS. We are talking over 3 years ago. First, Shanny said it was Alex Bolton that did it, and she knew it for fact. Then she fell out with Spackle. She accused Spackle of being the one that had made that phone call. And then when she fell out with Ms. Starr, she said it was Ms. Starr that made that phone call. Now, it was one phone call. All three couldn't have made it. And then in this video here that we've been listening to, her mother says it was Chris's mom that called CPS. Now, Shanny said she's named 3 different people for this one phone call. At least 2 of those accusations have to be lies. So whichever way you slice it, she's lied.
And, by the way, I actually think if CPS gets your attention and they come and they take your kids, it's for a good reason.
Can I just say
Shanny's fun.
Shanny's live at the minute. If Drag wanted to have a little tune in, I don't know.
Oh no.
Okay.
Don't bother. Because there's nothing worth listening to. Seriously. There is no point. If anybody is genuinely her friend, they would step in and try and help her now.
Oh, well, this is what the mom said. Yeah.
Her parents are now at the stage. Her mother's ill. Her father's ill. They can't cope with this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just looked at the stream. She looks terrible. Like, really bad. I'm not going to share that for a number of reasons. That is awful. Her disposition is beyond wretched.
Yeah, her poor parents.
Yeah, well, so yeah, her parents have gone through how many surgeries total now? What they're at 6, going on 7.
Isn't her father waiting for open heart surgery at the moment?
It's
I think he's waiting on knee.
Strange, though.
Or is it knee surgery? Or no, he's waiting on heart.
Her mum was knee surgery.
Is it? Sorry, David. Everybody, sorry, David. Is it because they're making videos that you can't actually get your head around, and that you're sort of skeptical about what they're saying because they're saying it on YouTube? Does that blow your mind?
In a manner of speaking, yeah.
But it doesn't blow your mind that she's on here bad mouthing them.
No.
I mean,
Wow, the hypocrisy.
So,
wow.
wait. So,
hang on.
From David's
Because
point of
Shanny's
view-
not the parent in this situation.
She is a parent.
She's not their parent. No, wait a minute. Shanny
Honor
is
thy
Your
father
father
and thy mother, pal.
honor your
Shanny
father
is
and
not
mother,
Shanny
Ten
is not
Commandments.
the parent of them.
No,
But
she's
she's
the
an
type.
adult.
Honor thy father.
Wait, how old is Shanny?
35.
Dude, the 10 Commandments says honor thy father and
You're
mother.
conflating
why?
this whole thing.
Unless why?
Shanny is complaining about how she was treated by her parents and still is being treated by her parents.
So
Why would you
says,
believe
I'm
that?
so abused.
But-
I've been so
and the
mistreated.
thing
He's a troll.
is
Get
that
out of here.
your child. I would never say anything like that about my child,
David,
even if they were
I'm gonna say
criminals. I
something-
wouldn't.
I'm going to say something really particular to you and say, I am sorry, David, that you've gone through abuse and that you maybe have an abusive parent. But I honestly think that's the only reason why you're siding with Shanny.
Yeah, can I just say something, David?
We've had
in
similar. We have
You did?
similarities in our upbringing.
Yes, because in her live chat, David, you said that you've
Does that
said
explain
worse
this?
things about. Hang on, you've said worse things about your mom. You said that in her live chat.
I did.
In
And
mom's, sorry,
telling
in
the truth.
mom's,
What
in
and
mom's live
it was
chat.
well deserved.
That
About
makes
your
sense.
mom.
There's no way. Okay, now it makes. I kind of figured. I wasn't going to say anything, but I said there's no way that he is this damn biased. There's no way that he has to know on some level that what he's telling us is bullshit. And you know it's bullshit, David. You know it's absolute bullshit. You're superimposing how you feel about your parents upon her relationship.
I said this on my second to last video, where the things that these two individuals are saying about their daughter were very, very similar. I mean, it's almost like I went back in time. These are the things that are like the things that they would say about my brother behind his back to me.
And?
Right, well, is it true?
And the things that they were saying about my brother? Not really, no.
Not really.
Wait, not really?
Not really? Or
I mean, what they would do is they would take a situation and make it put it in the worst possible light.
So something fucked up did happen, and then when they told it, they exaggerated certain parts.
Yeah, when they were talking to me, like we were sitting in the kitchen, they were bringing oh, your brother did this and blah blah blah. You're like, yeah, okay. Some of what they said, there was some truth to it, but they put it in the worst possible way, to make him as bad as possible.
I think that there's a really interesting thing that's happening. You're able to minimize the shit that people do in your mind, and that when people really tell you how bad it is, you somehow just take parts of it.
How bad or good it is. You're not in. But that's fine, man.
But the thing did happen. Like, regardless of how someone inflates it, if someone stole $50 as opposed to $500, they still stole. Wouldn't you agree?
Yes.
Okay, so however somebody decides they wants to portray it doesn't betray the fact that the thing is real.
No, but you're talking about a relationship here. If say if your kid did something messed up, you have to
internalize it, and you can't speak about it.
When you discuss it, you don't put it in the worst possible light you can. You try to figure out a way to fix it.
My darling, it's the light that they see in. Are you saying that a parent can't criticize their children, but a child can criticize their parents?
Who's supposed to take who's supposed to take who to the end of the town?
Well, because for one, the parent is the responsible party.
Yes, but what if
What
if the parent has had their fill of the bullshit and they've had no more? Are they supposed to internalize it and swallow it? What if
if they were fucked up, yeah.
No.
So how
the better logic is she is now out of the house. She is an adult. They have gotten past the point where they can try to alter her behavior. Now they're calling out her behavior because maybe that will be the key for her to develop somehow into a competent.
They done raised their daughter. Okay, they should just let it go.
No.
And she has been raised. She should let it go. If you want to use
that, that's bullshit. That's bullshit.
So hold on.
They have grandchildren they're worried about.
If you were a victim of child abuse and you grew up and for years and years and years, their entire childhood, from age 0 to almost 17 or however old you were when you left the house, if you were a victim of
were when you left the house,
it doesn't matter. If you leave the house, and I even forgot my whole damn point. Thank you.
Well, David, I know one thing I will agree with you on is it is very strange to see a parent on YouTube. I think it's very Jerry Springer. But as we know, Shanny's very classy, so of course, her parents are classy, right? So it is extremely strange to see a parent get on YouTube. However, she has an enormous amount of trash talking that she's done about her parents and how they failed them and how awful it is for years. So I mean, I
remember my point now because I was getting a little bit upset and nervous. But anyway, when you become an adult after being raised in an environment like that, it affects your entire life. You've set the stage for the rest of your life because that was your childhood. That's what your foundation of your entire identity is in your childhood. And if your parents were shit, then your childhood was shit.
What
On a
evidence do
physical
you have
level,
that her childhood was shit?
I will
So
agree
what you
with
do
that.
is you stop growing, you stop trying to better yourself, you stop all
No, no,
therapy,
that's not
you
what's happening here.
self-medicate, get on YouTube and
That's not
rant
what. That's
about your
not.
parents.
No, that's not what. The thing is, you've been damaged, and you're repairing the damage. And the fact that you have to go and fix shit you shouldn't have had to fix and deal with shit
She's
you shouldn't have
not
to deal with,
repairing
it
anything.
pisses you off. It pisses you off, and you want the people who are responsible to own up.
So
And
you
so
don't
you
take
do that by damaging your own children so that they end up in the same boat.
You're saying that. I'm not saying that.
Well, I'm
No,
trying to
I'm
figure
asking
out
you
how has
know.
Shanny. Well,
I
hold on.
don't
How has
know
Shanny?
any of that.
asking you the
I don't know
question.
any of that. I have not witnessed any of that. I don't know
Excuse
any
me,
of that.
David. I was
You
asking
must be
you a
blind.
question. I was not making a statement.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So how has-
everybody's on
Seriously.
David. I mean, just
Okay.
to be fair though, Dave, everybody is on David.
Yeah,
I
so
don't mean to
that's
speak.
let me just bring this back. Let me just bring this back. So it's obvious, David, that you're kind of superimposing your life as to what you think is going on in Shanny's life. You haven't actually been following much of what's been going on. Yeah, you kind of are.
Yeah,
Like,
I think so. I think so.
really indicated to us that you view this in the same light as your own family, and so that's how you're
Because
making.
that's what you do. You look. You compare people's lives to yours.
I don't, and you
relate
know
to
what?
people's
On a basic level, of expectations, sure, you could do that. But there's a point in time where you go, let me separate myself from this and see what's going on. I can do that to the effect that say that, you know what, her parents on here making these videos, it's a bit creepy, it's a bit off-putting. You normally don't see that.
I made a video a long
fine.
time ago. I made a video a long time ago when I first heard people talking about Shanny being abusive to her kids, and I don't think at the time I pointed out anybody in particular, but I said that if you have evidence that woman is abusing her children, and you don't put that shit on blast, then fuck all of you, because I was a victim of child abuse, and I had similar people in my life say, well, you know, they didn't do shit, and fuck you.
I got a question. I really got a question. I'm sorry to interrupt you, but abuse doesn't just mean hitting. Neglect is abuse.
I didn't say that.
Neglect is abuse.
Oh, I know
So
all too
if
well.
a parent's high all the time, like really high, like super teaching child high, and this kid's waiting for hours for their lunch, who knows what they're doing? They could be climbing under the refrigerator, grabbing a hot dog and just eating a hot dog raw. We don't know what they're doing. I don't know what they're doing to survive.
That's what I like how David kind of like skates over the maladaptive, traits that she displays. How can you be a good parent if you are literally that high all day? Both parents, mind you.
Well, you can't, but I don't know if she's. I only know she's high while she's on YouTube, but she's not on YouTube 24/7.
She's being high.
I've seen her on a webcam. I've seen her on a cam in her car taking her child somewhere.
Do you know that she's sober?
So you haven't
I
seen?
know. I didn't see her with any like pot or anything on her. I mean,
so
she was
you
like,
haven't. Wait a minute. So you haven't seen that the live stream she's done where she's sucking on that bong and getting high live on camera. You haven't seen them.
I've seen stuff like that, but it's not 24/7.
You do know that you don't have to have it connected to your face in order to be inebriated, right?
What you're implying is that she's on camera and she's high so often that she can't take care of her kids. She's not on YouTube all that often. She's not on YouTube.
Yeah, you're right.
Second.
She has to sleep. You're right. You're absolutely right. She does sleep between her bouts of being high.
Can I just say she was high when her kids were off school ill, and I know I keep.
What about the
thing.
time? Okay, what about the times? You can go to her channel right now. You can see that she's got like where she has one video where she made, and then she didn't make another one for like 2 or 3 days. What does she do during those 2 or 3 days? What is she? She's taking care of her kids, right? You don't know that because she's not on camera. You're not there. You don't know that.
No, yeah, people don't know that she didn't either.
Well,
and to go to the other extreme, we don't know she's not putting her kids in her closet somewhere and locking the door when the camera's off. We don't know nothing.
No, but we do know what's happening with the cameras on
those days, because I got to tell you, I always wonder. I'm like, who's feeding these kids? What is going on?
Maybe she's feeding them when the camera's off.
That's weird because it doesn't. It's weird because when my son comes in, people can barely hear him off camera, and he'll ask me, and I'll stop what I'm doing, and I'll go make him food.
Absolutely.
And people have seen and heard that several times. And Shanny had the audacity to ask me about me spending time with my child while he was in a different state.
I've watched her make her kid cry. Yeah, that
Yeah.
was fun.
And
I've never seen that. I've never seen that.
Of course you have.
There's an awful lot of things you haven't seen, David.
It's when she said that she wished that.
So I can't say that. I can't say that. I can't say that it happened if I didn't see it.
I'm not saying that you have to say it happened, but what I'm saying is that you should then try and find out instead of just shitting on anybody that brings it up. How about that?
Listen, I'm not somebody that wants to like say, take away your kids or anything like that, but I do think that somebody should tell Shanny that sober living with kids is important.
Well, you're doing it all the time.
Well, my issue is that it's not the fact that she smokes weed.
Okay.
There are plenty of people who are recreational, but when she is getting high, like for 4 or 5 hours at a time,
yeah, this
it's
is
like
serious
you
stuff.
kind of wonder, like and she's on probably every day, and for at least 3 or 4 hours of the day, she's just high in the middle of the fucking day.
Okay,
that really does make you wonder.
That does bother me a bit. That does. I'm a little bit concerned about that.
Okay, can I ask a question for anybody who, because I've never taken drugs, so I don't know. So if you get really high in the way that Shanny's has gotten high, how long does it take for that to come off until you're sober? Shall we say?
It depends. Shut up. It depends on the strength of the weed. If it's me, weed shuts my brain down. I can't function. But for Shanny, she can probably function. I'll give her that.
I'm not the one to ask because I haven't been high since 1986.
Yeah. So it depends on the person, depends on the strength of the weed. So if she's smoking, for as long as she's been smoking, it probably maybe takes her, I always give it 30 minutes to 45 minutes just to really come completely off of it.
If you're using it to medicate, because that's what she keeps telling people, like so that the fundies don't yell at her.
You don't.
If you use it to medicate, you can get like a vape and take like 2 puffs. And just be like, feeling pretty good, but nothing too crazy. And
you also don't use a gas mask.
What?
You also don't use a gas mask.
No, you don't use a gas mask. You don't freaking dab, which he's not doing, but like that's the next step, right? You don't take it from a big old bong and just like you this is beyond medication.
Can I ask a question?
This is getting wasted. This is different.
Do you know? Sorry, because I don't know any of this, but when she talks about the different names, like there's a Princess Leia one, and there's like a
Gorilla Glue.
Well, is it? I don't know.
Those are different strains of weed. And
yeah, no, I get that. But would any strain or any type help her pain?
Yes.
So if she's saying. So sorry, if she's saying I'm going to have the Darth Vader or I'm going to have the Princess Leia, I'm going to have the fucking Walking Dead strain, is that just her trying different types? But anyone would do. Anyone would cure her.
No, so
not cure her, but
levels of stuff.
So anything that's the indica strains are going to affect your body. And anything that's the sativa strains are going to be activating your brain. Like
and
they're a little bit
you have hybrids. You have like ones that are sativa, but they actually do indica effects. You like.
So there isn't. It's not the case that she could just get the one mundane strain that would just cure her pain for that day.
What I would ask to her is if she's using it for pain, why doesn't she just do CBD and knock out
this is my point. Sorry, this was my point. Why has she got to highlight that she's got all these different ones? This one tastes of lemon. This one tastes of, fuck knows what.
I don't know. That bothers me a bit.
Because she's doing it recreationally. She's not doing it to medicate. Like, we all know that's a lie. Like,
Thank you.
The people those of us who know folks who smoke, there's an art to it. People who have vape pens, there's an art to making the vapes and the different types of wire and different types of things that you can. All the paraphernalia that she has is because she's a recreational user, not someone who's just self-medicating to get through the day to deal with PTSD or anxiety. That's absolute bullshit. Every time she says it, I cringe. So, I mean, let's call it for what it is and not pretend like her
Yeah.
and probably Rev. Rev is incapacitated like half the time.
Yes.
He is
So this was-
emaciated.
this-
He's in a bad state, and it
I'm
is
like, he needs more weed.
like he
Well-
probably needs more weed than anything else. But it's like if she's sitting there sucking on this bong all goddamn day, and then she's asking about other people taking care of their stuff. Well, it's only natural that people wonder, well, who's taking care of your kids?
But is it
To
fair
be
that
honest,
she
though-
puts? Sorry,
Well, who
Fiona,
says that
go on.
Rev
Honest, though,
isn't
can I
doing
just
it?
say? Can I
Rev
just
is
say,
doing
though,
it.
listen, Rev's in a bad way.
Who says that Rev isn't taking care of the kids when Shanny's on camera?
Rev can barely move.
David,
He's a zombie.
listen,
No, he's
can,
not.
can I please say something?
No, he's
Please,
not.
please let me say something, David.
Wow.
David, he has been diagnosed with wet brain.
Okay, I've looked it up. I know what it is, but
Right?
I've actually heard him have a conversation. So it's G-Man.
I've heard him have a conversation too, and guess what? I was friends with him 2 years ago, and I can tell you that he is not very lucid.
No, he's not. He is, David, he's in a bad way.
That's not what G-Man said on his video.
G-Man's
Who gives a
retarded.
crap? G-Man,
Oh my!
Oh my word!
Oh my god!
Troll confirmed. Troll confirmed.
Wait, so you're taking the opinion of a guy who spent 40 years fucking up his own goddamn life about somebody else's life?
David,
Hey, whatever your
David,
opinions, whatever your
David.
opinions and my opinions are of G-Man,
David,
he can have an intelligent conversation with somebody.
Have you met this motherfucker in real life?
I have.
guys,
have
please,
had-
Hannah,
Yeah,
please.
now, I've
please.
had one conversation with G-Man off camera, and he can be, when he's not on camera, a very engaging and pleasant person to talk to.
Some of us have met in person, David. We know what he's like, but may I just finish the point I was attempting to make?
Go ahead, Fiona.
Right. Rev is in a bad way. That is not a nice diagnosis. You do realise that, don't you? You're talking brain damage. Possibly permanent brain damage. You do realise that, don't you?
That doesn't mean he can't function.
Somewhat.
Is
Wait.
it?
Oh
Wait,
my word!
Wait. What? Wait. Huh? What?
You're
Huh?
talking about Rev like he's a bedridden vegetable or something.
No,
But he kind of is.
Have
But
you
he
seen him
kind
out the
of
bed?
is.
look, David.
I've actually seen him setting up in a chair. I've actually seen him have conversations.
Yeah. So is my
I've-
senile
David,
grandmother.
for goodness sake!
Oh,
You're saying that he's like bedridden and he can't do shit.
Did I say that?
David.
My head.
Let me. David, did I say he was bedridden? Did those words pass my lips?
No, other people have said.
Right,
I've
okay.
heard people.
Did I say he
When I
can't
say
hold
when
a-
I'm saying
Did
you, I don't
I
mean you.
say he
Fiona,
can't hold a conversation?
Fiona, calm down a second.
No,
When
let me
when I
speak.
said you,
Stop
I mean the
interrupting me.
group. I
No,
meant the
stop
group.
interrupting me.
You as in you're
Stop
interrupting
it.
me. You're interrupting me. When I
have
say
been
you,
trying to make
you
this
is also
point
a
to you for a
plural.
while.
You is also plural.
I am trying to make
You
this
is
point
also
to you.
plural.
Now, please,
Yes, the word you is plural and singular.
will you please let me finish my
Are you talking
point?
into all of us?
Yes, I was.
Right, so I haven't said any of those things then, have I, David? Have I?
I wasn't singling you out.
Right, I'm just making sure we're clear on this.
All right, so comment.
So I was the one that brought up this topic. Because you see, when Shanny's as high as a kite, you can't say that Rev can take care of the kids during that time, because he can't. In fact,
You don't
Rev
know
can't
that.
In fact, Rev isn't taking care of himself, because Shanny herself said she was his carer. From her own mouth,
That can be
David.
taken in a number of ways.
No, she stated that now that he was out of hospital and he'd actually managed to smile that day, he'd actually smiled that day. That's how bad it was, David. He wasn't even able to smile. But he smiled that day, but that she was going to be his carer at home because she has the experience to know his needs.
He even made a video. He even made a video recently.
David.
And he was perfectly lucid.
Can I just ask one question? Just quick, very, very quickly. If Rev, sorry, Fiona, if Rev was a chronic alcoholic and now he's been poorly detoxed and now he's in the state that he is it fair to make him smoke marijuana?
No.
As I've seen her put the, what would it be? I don't know what you would call it. Put the joint. I don't know what it is. I don't need to be Goshen. I don't know what it is.
Gas mask.
No, not the gas mask. No. But she's put the no. She's put the thing, the joint, for want of a better word, to his mouth, and he smoked it. Is it fair?
Yeah.
That he, well, whatever it was. Yeah. Is
Can
it
he
fair
not do
to?
that? Wait, hold on, Thelma.
Well, yeah.
Is he not able to do that himself?
Well, she does it for him. So she puts it in his mouth. But my point is,
oh my God, you guys! I've actually seen Rev get up out of bed and walk around.
Hang on, no. My point is it fair for a chronic alcoholic who's kind of recovered to be then smoking marijuana? Isn't it going from alcoholism to
I don't know. I can't
drugs?
make that judgment. I don't know.
It's not the preferable.
That's your opinion.
Well,
the effects of long-term marijuana use and alcohol use are really far from one another. It's hard to compare them.
No. But it's like she's moving him on from his alcoholism to something else.
So
yes.
I have
another crutch.
Yes. Yeah. Thank you.
One of my best friends is an addiction counselor, and I actually did mention this situation. And I said, is it harmful to do this? And she said, alcohol and marijuana, while they don't have the same detrimental effects, marijuana is not as damaging and stuff like that. They do not recommend a recovering alcoholic to get baked like that.
Well, this was my point. So, David, it's like she's doing something to him that's not going to help him in his recovery. He's practically.
Are you gonna go down this hole that Shanny is like doing stuff to her husband to get him to like not be here anymore so she can get all his money?
No, that's a conspiracy that people are being funny.
No.
Here's the thing: is she a trained substance abuse counselor? Is Shanny a trained substance abuse counselor?
But I doubt it. I doubt it.
Has she ever indicated that she has any formal training or certification in helping someone recover from substance abuse?
Doubtful.
Okay. Is Rev receiving any type of professional counseling in that capacity?
I don't know.
Okay, those are issues because Shanny is quite overtly stated that she is acting in the stead of someone who is a professional.
Yeah, you're making a lot of assumptions here.
No, she's actually said that.
David, she said
that. And that's why I wanted to ask you to actually see how much you know about.
Was she serious or what?
Yes, she's serious. Have you never heard her say that I'm caring for him and helping him with his recovery?
Well, that's just like any woman would say. If her husband was ill, she's helping take care of him.
Sure. If I went to the hospital, if I got in a car accident and I went to the hospital, would my wife take me out of the hospital before receiving proper treatment and then care for me at home?
No, but once you got out of the hospital and you still need help doing things, she could say that.
Bullshit right now. So my grandfather had surgery to remove his right kidney because it was cancerous. My grandmother is there at the home, but do you know who does the care? They have a nurse that comes to the house every single day to look in on my grandfather. And my grandmother has never once said, "Oh, I'm caring for him." She said, "I'm looking out for him and making sure that he doesn't, like, something tragic doesn't happen," but she's not the person doing the care because she doesn't have the knowledge to do the goddamn fucking care.
So why don't you ask the woman, are you the one that's giving him the health care, or is it a professional that's doing it? Why don't you just come right out and ask her that?
Okay, Shanny, for Christ. We know that you watch this sometimes, or someone run and tells you things. We're specifically asking, are you giving Rev care? Are you giving him care for addiction therapy? Are you giving him care for physical care? We kind of want to know.
Are you caring for him in general like a wife normally would, or are you giving him professional medical care?
And if so, I guess my next question would be, when is the last time is seen a professional? Because we know that money's not an issue.
And another thing would be, is it really any of our business?
Oh, wait.
I mean, she puts everything else out there, and she can comment about everyone else's life. So I guess hers is just off limits now.
Yeah, hers is off limits, even though it's on YouTube.
I mean, I could mention the 20 videos she made towards me alone, you know, as reason enough for me to make a video towards her. But you know, that's okay because we're overlooking Shanny's, you know, maladaptive traits because she's a victim and she has bad parents and whatever other excuse you want to pull up.
Because
Shanny
reasons,
has been in my
because
life.
reasons.
You know, David, you should know that Shanny, when she decided she was mad at me, decided to give me a big old slap down, and she put me under fire with my husband, saying that my husband, no wonder why he's gonna leave you, and da 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 da, and you almost were divorced but weren't, and she's like trying to like just throw these depth charges at me. And then another time she mentioned that I didn't have kids. So don't tell me that Shanny's off limits. I think that's kind of funny.
Because can I just say, it's
well, I never heard her make those statements.
Oh, well, you know what? I think Glute has them saved.
I never hear her say anything negative about anyone either. Yeah,
I have those videos saved as well. She did say them, David.
It's amazing the things that he hears from her about other people and about the mother. It's so strange.
I heard her say some things, but I haven't heard her say those things.
Oh, she said those things.
It was said in the most vicious, mean way too.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
I mean, it is what it is because I know who I am and who my husband is and what we've been through and what we've gone through and what we are and that. But it was, there was nothing there but malice. Yep. That's it.
She poked her nose into my marriage as well, remember? So don't tell me that that's off limits.
Oh wow, I think there's 3 of us in here who she's spoken about our marriages quite extensively. Yeah, I want to say at least 3 of us actually. And you missed all of those, David?
Well, yeah, because I don't pay attention to every damn thing.
Hold on, she made 20. Literally, someone counted 20 videos towards me a few months ago during the summer. She made literally. So you missed 20 videos back to back to back to back to back.
I only recently started watching Shanny's channel. And,
really?
People see you in the chat, David. I'm just going to throw that out there.
Yeah, we do. But here's the thing: you're saying you haven't seen any of this. You know, fuck all about it.
I've watched Shanny. I've watched Shanny off and on for maybe about a year.
Let me finish. So you're admitting you know fuck all about it, but you're sitting here giving it large on the issue when you know nothing about it.
I'm talking about the things that I know about, not the things you know about.
So do you think that people here are lying when we've said things to you that you don't like to hear?
No.
So would you take that on board then? That
if I hear Shanny say stuff like that, then yeah, I'd be on board.
No. That something that I may have said now that I have heard or seen her say. Do you take that on board as being true?
No, because I don't know who the hell you are.
You don't. Sure. Okay, that's fine.
But you know Shanny, but just don't watch her videos as much as we do.
If I sent you,
I've only been like in spite of what y'all are saying, I'm not up her ass.
Yes, you are.
But
bullshit. Fuck you, Fiona.
Wait. What? So you don't know me, David, although we have been in a hangout previously a while ago. But anyway, but you just automatically think that I was lying, or you just are skeptical of what I'm saying?
I would be skeptical. I wouldn't like out and out call you a liar, but I'd be skeptical because I personally didn't hear it.
So if we
and I know of Shanny and I know her a little bit. I don't know you at all.
If a channel exists that archives Shanny's outbursts and all of her scorn towards our marriages and us respectively, you would then it would be validated for our claims, more or less, right?
Of course.
Okay, so if someone gives you that link, you would then see the videos and then you would call her out.
But
that depends.
There we go. There we go. So
it depends. It depends. What I would do if I heard Shanny like being super vicious towards somebody, and then it's like, well, how long ago was the video? Then I would say, well, has she apologized about it? Shanny, do you still think that you were right in what you did? It would be kind of like on those levels.
Just the videos that you missed and the
but you're-
subsequent apologies.
I don't think you're going to do that, though, are you? I don't think
No, he's
you're
not.
not going to investigate those things.
Well,
And I just think you're just going to think.
I could look at it. Yeah, I could look at it. I could look at it. But just like a lot of Shanny's videos, when she has videos that are like an hour long or 30 minutes long, I'll watch for
4
like
hours.
3 minutes. I'll watch for like 3 or 4 minutes, go do something else, come back, watch a little bit more, come back, and maybe I won't watch the whole damn thing. Because in spite of what you all say, and I say you all, in spite of what you all say, I'm not up her ass.
But you know enough to know that what we're saying is not accurate,
false.
Shanny.
Can I just ask
I'm saying
why?
I can't confirm what you're saying, and it just sounds like you're just all on this let's get on Shanny shit.
Okay, so why would you think that I would say a falsehood against Shanny? Why would you think that? You don't know me.
Who you are. I don't know
that's
who you
fine.
are.
No, that's fine. You don't know who I am. That's absolutely fine. But why would you think that I would just chat shit
Because
about
maybe
Shanny?
maybe you just don't like her.
And why would you think that?
I don't know. I don't know.
What would give me reason?
Maybe you just don't like her channel. Maybe you just don't like her as a person. I don't know.
So you're fine with presuming things about someone you don't know. Like you're fine doing that.
If
But
you-
then when
okay,
it comes
if a
to
person-
people who have evidence
You're
about our
being
claims,
silly. If somebody,
I'm being silly. Okay.
If somebody that you don't really know, maybe you might have seen them once, but you don't really know who they are. They come up and they talk about people that you have a little bit more familiarity with. You're kind of skeptical about what they say if they put it in a light that you're not familiar with.
Sure, and then that person says, "I actually have video proof showing this," then the skepticism kind of goes away. Now, wouldn't it?
And your video is on Glute's channel.
Yeah, fine. I'm sure. I know Glutes is one of my.
You wanted to disparage G-Man as being unreliable.
So you're guilty by association.
Evidence. All I care about is the evidence.
Notorious at parodies. Glute is notorious parody YouTuber.
Sure.
We're talking about copies of her videos. Copies of her videos.
Yeah,
not
I'm not
parody videos.
Okay, I
Copies
haven't
of
seen
her
them.
videos.
I have not.
Okay,
Fiona, I have not seen them.
When I say archive, we mean that before she deletes them, they get downloaded and they get put on a separate channel.
I understand.
Okay. And now we understand Glutes does parodies. He doesn't like me. He didn't like a whole bunch of other people. That's fine. We know who Thick Shades has parodies of me and everyone else. We're talking about keeping an archive of her pure videos, uncut, unedited.
Yes. David, the videos still exist, although she's deleted them. People downloaded them.
Can I just
get that?
Okay, now this is what I would do. I will watch the videos, and if there's something in there that I find disturbing or it's pertinent to today, I'll ask her about it.
But can I just while there's a pause, because I'm great for jumping in when there's a pause. Somebody in the live chat, Positively Godless, hi Scott. He said she's getting high on camera right now. So it's Sunday. Where are her kids at? That's an interesting question, don't you think?
Maybe Rev has relatives too.
Rev's lying next to her.
Maybe Rev's got relatives and friends too that take care of the kids. I don't know, and you don't.
Is Rev from Colorado?
They moved out of state.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's where are her kids? It's Sunday. Well, for here it's 5:30.
Wait, hold on for a second. Hold on, Blue. Wait. Hold on. David, you didn't even know that they're in a different state away from his family?
No, I don't know that much about him.
Oh, for goodness sake!
Well, there you go.
I just caught that. Wow.
Yes,
So
I was wondering myself.
You know even less about Shanny than any of us. Really.
I hardly watch her videos, and I know she moved out of state.
Like I said, you're accusing me of being upper ass, and you apparently know more about her than me.
Oh no, I know quite a bit about.
You're more upper ass. You're way more upper ass. You are way more upper ass than I ever.
So I would be a better authority to speak on her behavior than you.
Yeah.
Not necessarily.
I mean,
if I can look at her video and I don't see anything going on, and you say there's something going on. We're both seeing the same video.
Is that every other 34th video or every other 84th video? How many videos
So
in
which
between?
is it? Am I upper ass or do I not know shit about it?
You upper ass defending her, not upper ass in that you know actually what's going on. There's a bit of distinction.
Now you're
David, this is what we're trying to say. You're defending her at all costs, and you know nothing.
No, I'm not. Because I said this on video. I said, if you have evidence that she has abused her kids, then you better put it on blast. Those are my exact words.
And we have.
Seriously, David.
No,
you're just
haven't.
David, look, if you really care about Shanny, if you do, then stop enabling her.
How am I enabling her?
Look,
well, you were slagging. Sorry, Fiona.
When people have been trying to say to her, Shanny, this isn't good. This really isn't good. This looks dreadful. And you're there cheering her on. That's you enabling her. And I mean, if you just want to sit back.
I guess you completely missed the parts where I told Jay that she needs to stop talking about her mom.
David, you keep going back to these specifics, and we've talked about something very general. We see you in her chats, or if she's enabled comments under her video, we see you there defending her, attacking others. We see
they're attacking her. They're attacking her. So I'm
defending. Exactly. You're defending. You're defending.
So I'm supposed to attack her now? I'm supposed to get on her. I'm supposed to get on her ass now?
No, that's not what I said, David. What I said was, if you care about her, you'll talk to her and try and say to her, this isn't good. This really isn't good.
I did say that to her.
Here's a good question, David. Why do you think she doesn't listen to you when you've told her to back off the parents?
Because she's highly upset.
She's highly upset. So she's been in a state of...
People don't listen to reason when they're upset.
I agree. I completely agree with you. So have you told her this? So yeah. So you've told her this more than once, I'm presuming.
Maybe a couple of times. I don't really.
A couple of times.
I do in one of her last videos. I told her that, and in my video, I told her that she just probably should best just not talk about her mom anymore.
So she's in a constant state of anger all throughout those several instances that you told her that she should stop. Because that excuse only goes so far, David. You know that.
Well, she could probably go back and look at the comments.
So she didn't listen to you.
Or maybe I need to tell her over and over. Like I said, I just started doing it.
Well, that's fine, but she would still have to be in a constant state of anger all those times that you tried to tell her in order for that excuse to work. Because you are essentially giving her an excuse as to why she won't listen to reason.
Well, I mean, if she's not upset talking about her mom and she's talking about something else, why would I need to bring up her mom?
No, just specifically when she brings up the parents and stuff or alludes to things that happen between her and the parents, and you've told her on multiple occasions that she shouldn't be doing that, and you said that it's whatever.
I think I've only told her twice. I think
only told her twice. So
twice and recently.
Okay, and they've been very recently, and so you've given her this sage advice, and that she's been upset the entire time, but on both occasions, mind you, that she has not listened to you.
So far, but she's upset. Maybe she needs to calm down first. And so
she didn't calm down in between the times that you told her?
She's permanently upset.
It sounds like it.
Yes.
You're not going to get through to her because
that's the only way that logic works.
Mania. I'm
trying to follow this logic because you're giving her excuses, which is fine, but I'm trying to follow it all the way through, and then hopefully you'll see that just throwing out these excuses really doesn't help her any. Because we've heard, and I personally heard, Rev tell her to stop. He's been very faint. He's been very mousy because, well, he's emaciated and weak. But I mean, it's kudos to him for trying to get better. But I mean, it's a result of years of abuse. But he's Shannon. He'll call her full name, Shannon. Just stop. Just drop it. And all of us almost. I won't say everyone here has heard him say that. So she won't even listen to her husband. What does that tell you about her?
That's in quotes, but anyway.
That there's
Anyway,
something
guys.
seriously wrong with the relationship with your parents.
But there's something seriously wrong with her.
Exactly.
It takes two to tango. She makes a choice to get on YouTube. She makes a choice to hit the live button. She makes a choice to write the title. She makes a choice what the content is. She makes a choice for the length. Every single step of the way, Shanny makes a choice. And the more people absolve her from responsibility, the more she's going to do it, because she has no reason to actually absolve the situation. Because I can probably tell you with a certain degree of certainty that if she were to stop shitting on her parents would probably just go away. They wouldn't need to respond. Don't you think?
Yeah, you probably got a point there.
So at what point does Shanny have to take responsibility for her own actions?
Well, she should. She should take responsibility immediately.
There we go. And we agree. And that was the gist of my last
Breakthrough.
video. She can't
Absolute
do it.
Breakthrough.
She can't take responsibility, and she
But
won't.
I'm not gonna jump on the dog pile of the anti-Shanny whatever that's been going on lately.
That's fine. Maybe you could approach her from a different aspect, but it seemed, at least in my experience, this has been pretty effective against other people. Welcome, Cat Massimo.
Can I just say I haven't seen a case of white knighting this bad since Pew.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
No, ignore that. Ignore that.
Oh God.
You haven't been on the Red Informant.
I've been watching off and on from shitting my brains out and wondering why everybody is caring so much about this train wreck.
Are you talking down the toilet bowl?
No, I'm in the man cave now. I've recovered a little bit.
Sounds like your head's in the toilet bowl.
No, I mean I was earlier when I was watching, trying to be entertained between this or watch Movie Bob's a Snyder cut of Batman v Superman. Really that bad? So I mean, you guys won out on that one. But can we just chalk this all up to David is either white knighting or misinformed or a little bit of both, and we really shouldn't give a shit?
I think it's both. Yeah, it's both. I think.
What the hell is white knighting? What are you talking about?
You're kind of you're being Shanny's knight. You're defending her.
Well, yeah, I consider her a friend.
But
you're
I don't think you know that. Hang on, I don't think you know that much about her though. So you can. I mean, you can consider
I don't
people
have
your
to be aware of every
friend.
aspect of her life. I don't have to be aware.
Let's say online friend.
Okay.
Online friend, because I've got lots of online friends, and
right,
you don't
fair.
really know. That's fair.
That's fair.
I'm not having a go.
Those
at you.
are called clients, not friends.
No, it's called money slaves.
Can I just say really quick? The only time I've seen Rev is when he occasionally comes up from behind her ass for air, and he looks disheveled and miserable, and then he just pops right back down.
I mean,
so to say that, I've seen him occasionally sit in a chair. Good fucking job.
It's like I saw my granddad sitting occasionally in a chair, but then he died.
I said that in response to them saying that he was constantly bedridden.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, every time I've seen him, he's just been trapped behind Shanny's ass.
I've actually seen him walking around.
Good.
Not lately.
Greg,
Not lately.
Walk around. Good fucking.
That's hardly bedridden. And I've actually seen him on video talking.
I thought that was an episode of The Walking Dead. Whoops.
He made a video asking Miss Starr to stop talking about his wife.
You know, as commendable as that is of Rev to do that, it would kind of be in his best interest to stop his wife from starting shit with other people. I mean, I'm just throwing that out there.
But once again, I'll take it back to my grandfather, who's technically bedridden. He can still walk around, but he doesn't have the strength to do any of the things that a normal person would do to take care of themselves. And Rev is in the same situation.
I mean, it does boil down to the
like smoking like weed right now on camera. And again, somebody brought this up earlier. Where are the kids? It's Sunday. I don't personally care. I'm just adding to the point. David seems to not see this. So, David, it's live right now. You can leave right now and watch this right now.
Well, like I said, I don't watch everything she puts out.
But hang on though. Okay, so hang
all
on.
the videos that have been referenced so far, you have stated you haven't seen those.
Yeah, but you. Oh, actually, before you say that, Blue, I wish we still had one video that I saw, and this video was around for a bit, and it's Sabella's video that she had on one of her channels, because there was some shots taken at Sabella, where Shanny was saying, "Oh, Sabella was lying about me flirting with Bruce," and it's something that happened over Facebook, and it happened years ago. So I figured no one would ever, like, it was just something between them two. Sabella was smart. Before she said anything, she got a screen capture. She has a recording of her going through the comments, and they were very flirtatious. And one of them was an overt, let's say, statement of what Bruce should do as far as his marriage with Sabella. I'll say that. And there wasn't two buts about it. And so Shanny made a response video saying that, no, that couldn't have been me. My ex-husband hacked my account. And actually, you know what? I know this, and I can prove because I was in jail during that time. And then she still managed to get the dates of the imprisonment wrong. And so in response to that, she flagged the video, and the video's gone now. I saw that video. Now you have to ask yourself, why would she flag the video down? Why would she go through all the trouble of calling Sabella a liar and this, that, and the other, then try and make an excuse for what she claims happened with somebody hacked her account and is trying to get her in trouble and by flirting with some random guy, only to flag the video down later?
But let me guess, David's going to say he didn't see that video, so he can't comment.
Well, I understand that. No, I understand, because only a few of us did see that. And
like, you want me to comment on the video she's doing right now? I'm not even looking at it. I don't know what she's saying. So
well, no,
can I comment on it?
This particular video, I want you to ask Shanny about the video of Sabella that she flagged down. I want you to personally, privately ask her about that, because, like I said, some of us saw that, and she was flirting with Bruce. There's no buts about that, and she flagged it down. That video's gone. Ask her why she flagged the video. If she lies and says that she never said anything, then that's fine. There's a recording of her actually talking about said video.
Well, her and me have gone back and forth a little bit. Nothing nasty, but her and me have gone back and forth a little bit, just kidding around.
Well, sure, but
hang on.
Have you gone on some?
Whoa. In what way?
Well, like she said, do you want to date me and stuff like that? And I said, no, I'm too old. I'd say stuff like that. But when she would like she was talking about
David, you're about to dig her a really big hole right now.
No. Sprag, shut up.
And then when like there were times where she would be talking along a sexual line about what her and Rev do together, I left the chat. I just said I can't watch this because I don't think you. In fact, the comment I left was, I don't think a Christian woman should be discussing things so graphically. And then I left.
Can I just point out that the video drag is talking about there may be a link.
So how does that make me dig a hole?
She was coming on to you.
Not really. You're just kidding.
Well, she kind of is though. Is that what if she's like a person in Christ?
I know someone's coming on to me or not.
No, but if she's a woman in Christ, should she be talking like I mean in a sexual way?
I told her that. I said, but this was not that moment.
But that's like, you. But what about her? She's still doing it. That's her personality. That's who she is.
I haven't heard her do it recently. I haven't heard her do that's like the most recent thing I've heard her talk about, when she's talking about graphically what her and Rev do with each other. That was in response to some accusation was made about her and G-Man. And she made a series of videos responding to it, which I've watched some of it. And I told her when she started getting graphic about, well, Rev and I do this and that and this and that. She was getting graphic, and I was saying, like, I really don't like this. I don't like hearing this. I don't think a Christian woman should be discussing sexual things with her husband this graphically.
But she does, though. That's the thing, that she doesn't learn is the point. And she's very much like,
well, my attitude about it
invoke the name G-Man. They don't learn.
my attitude about it at the time, and still is that nobody's perfect.
Oh, and on that note, I'm going, guys, because I just can't take any more of this.
What do you want me to do? What do you want me to say? You want me to say she's a horrible person?
No,
but she kind of. I mean, it's like stop white
and I
lighting
can't
her.
and I can't say that. I can't say that because I don't know that.
No, David, I'm not saying for you to say that she's a horrible person. But what I'm saying
Well,
is,
I'll say
you
that.
need to stop this constant defense. All it does is enable this behavior.
So what do you want from me?
Well, number one, you're going to have to stop defending her when she does this.
I will defend her if I feel she's being treated unfairly.
Oh,
but she's a.
On that note, guys, I'm out. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I just find this so sad. So I bid you all adieu and
goodbye, Fiona.
But there's
Fifi, I love you.
Used to see. Bye.
Fifi, I love you.
Bye, darling.
Oh man, David, can you see my screen right now? Man, that's an interesting video. Just so happened to.
No, I don't see your screen.
You see? Okay. Can you see the oh, you have your bandwidth turned all the way down?
All I see is everybody's icons on the bottom.
Yeah, I think
bandwidth all the way down.
Yeah. Are you on your phone or your laptop?
No, I'm on a computer.
Okay, your bandwidth must be turned down.
Can
someone read off the title of this video that Shanny's in?
For my boyfriend, G-Man.
Oh
my god! Oh my god!
Okay, it's dinner time for me, so I'm going to
things.
head out.
See, those are videos I might take a peek at for like 4 or 5 minutes, and then don't watch the rest. See, I do stuff like that. I'll watch your videos for like 4 or 5 minutes, and if it's something that I'm not really comfortable looking at, then I won't watch the rest of it.
So it kind of seems like you curate your viewership of Shanny so that you view her almost in the best light possible by avoiding all of her negative aspects.
For entertainment. I watch YouTube for entertainment usually, and if it's not entertaining, then I don't want to see it.
So if you're saying that you understand her as a friend, don't friends understand the negative aspects as well as the positive aspects of that person?
Yeah, but friends don't focus on those things.
Well, actually, a friend that has integrity does. Because if I'm stealing from somebody and a friend knows that, a good friend would call me out.
Making a YouTube video is hardly the same as stealing.
I'm not comparing stealing or theft to YouTube videos. I'm comparing the integrity aspect of it.
Okay, a bad behavior, integrity aspect. But this, bad behavior. But there, like. I really don't like getting in people's business like that.
And I find that strange to the point that if you don't want to get in their business like that, how can you then go and say that, well, people are just jumping on her for no reason? Because you said earlier that you pretty much presume people just want to jump on her for any number of reasons, but you've not actually investigated those reasons because you don't want to get in the business. So you're going in blind and partially ignorant to what's going on for some because you want to be her friend, whatever, right? But you don't have the tools and the information to actually engage in that.
There are some things that I just find disgusting and just undesirable to be exposed to.
Fine, and that's completely acceptable. But then how can you go and defend someone when you don't have the information to actually form a defense?
Well, you see drag. You make shit up as you go.
Now, who's making up anything? I'm not making up shit.
I mean, there's very little else you can do.
You've been denying things, and then when we have asked, have you actually seen it? You said, no, but I don't think she does it.
Because I haven't seen her do it.
No, but you're if somebody says, I've been in a hangout with her, or I've watched the video of her, and there's clips that people have copied, and you can go and watch them.
I'm playing one right now.
And you're over there saying, but I haven't seen it, so you must be wrong. That's pulling shit out of your ass.
I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm saying I haven't seen it. Therefore, I can't say that it happened.
So how do you form a defense when you're ignorant to the events?
I don't need to form a defense.
So what exactly are you doing as Shanny's friend in this capacity?
I'm just saying the stuff that I like about her.
So sure, I like that she's entertainment for me.
And that as far as I can tell, she's not doing anything wrong.
Sure, except for all the maladaptive traits that you mentioned before that you don't particularly care for.
Well, everybody's got certain things about them that's unpleasant. I mean,
Well,
like I don't
that would
I
kind of
don't like
contradict what you
I
just
don't
told me.
like watching people, eat certain foods. That don't mean I'm going to not like them for that or jump on their ass about it.
Yeah, eating certain foods and bad mouthing your parents constantly kind of far stretches between one another, at least in my mind. Yeah, and talking about people's marriages
And as far as I mean, how recent was that comment anyway?
the comment about the parents or about
the marriages,
the
when she's talking about marriages and stuff.
Oh God, what is this video?
How old is that stuff? Has she repented? Has she changed? Has she apologized?
No.
Has she done anything?
This was a few months ago, back in May. This is back in May that this video, the one I'm showing now.
And is there any truth to any of the things she said?
Yeah, well, there's screenshots being played right now.
I mean, is there any truth to her allegations? Is there any truth to any of her allegations, or is it all made up?
It's all made up because she said that a few of our marriages were being dissolved or in the process of being dissolved, and none of us have indicated anything even remotely close to that. So you have to ask, why is she making videos about people's marriages when she doesn't? For some of us, she doesn't even know our real names, but she somehow knows the status of our marriages.
Alpha.
I mean, I would love to understand how. I'm very curious how you missed the 20 videos she made towards me specifically. But
I already
that's
told
fine.
you that. I already told you this how I watch Shanny's videos. I watch just enough to get the gist of what she's saying, and if it's something that I don't particularly find that I want to spend time listening to, I won't watch any more of it.
Sure. So my question is, if you had seen them, just seen the titles of any of them, because I'm very curious how you could miss 20 videos back to back to back. They were very short, by the way.
I don't know how long ago were they, because like I said, I didn't start watching her channel until recently.
This summer. It was literally this summer.
Like 2-3 months ago.
Just people have screenshots of you in her chat from around that time. I'm just going to throw that out there.
Sure, it's probably one of those videos where I just listened to the gist of it and just left.
So you did see them.
You don't want to see her bad behavior, so you're enabling her.
I don't want to see anybody's bad behavior.
Well, then you can't defend their bad behavior and say,
I'm not defending her bad behavior.
You sure as fuck are.
Oh, fuck you, I am not.
Denial is not just a river in Egypt.
I'm not saying I'm not like if Shanny like gets high, I'm not saying it's okay for her to get high. In fact, I said the opposite. I'm not defending her, so fuck off for saying that shit.
Why are you here then?
Because I was invited.
Well, you were defending her in the chat, so that's why you were invited.
No, they said the accusation was that she doesn't take care of her kids, and I said that's a lie. She does. Somebody's doing it.
I kind of want to be autistic and ask, what do you mean by taking care of the kids? But I'm not going to go there. So sorry.
Well, taking care of the kids means making sure they got food to eat, making sure they got a place to live, making sure that they don't fucking die.
Hold on. I actually want to add to that point, because taking care of kids means more than looking after their physical needs. It also it also means being a supportive parent and everything else. I mean,
it also does mean that. It also does mean that.
So, Drag, I told you about my great grandmother.
Yes, the one that locked your grandmother in the closet.
No. You weren't supposed. God damn it, Drag.
Oh, the one that didn't lock the grandmother in the closet.
No, you fucked it all up.
Yeah, too late.
We're supposed to just say yes, and then I was gonna ask if she provided meals and a roof, clothes.
Well, yeah, obviously, because
that's part of taking care of your kids.
Yeah.
Okay. Now,
great grandmother was abusive.
My great grandmother locked my grandmother in a closet for hours at a time. Is she also taking care? Because she's still
that is taking care of your kids,
providing a roof.
Dude, Oh God, fuck it.
It's not taking care of them very well, but it's taking care of them.
What the fuck?
My grandmother.
Technically,
My grandmother has panic attacks if she gets in an elevator.
Well, whatever happened to her was abusive as shit, and she should have probably went to jail for it.
But she was taken care of.
Yeah, I mean, even kids in orphanages have people taking care of them.
Oh! Do you want to talk about orphanages? Yeah, I could bring up a great example of orphanages in Romania. Oh, those were paradises. Whew.
No, not taking care of your kids means they're out in the street somewhere starving to death.
So
That's
hold the
not
fuck up. Hold up. So the kids right now locked up in cages because they came here as immigrants, being taken care of?
Sure, loosely.
Okay, fuck you. I'm done.
Well, fuck you back, motherfucker. I mean, what does being taken care of your kids mean? That you give them paradise on earth?
No, you take care of them.
What the fuck?
How about, can we go not abuse?
My parents took care of me, and my parents were fucking abusive as shit. But my parents took care of me.
Okay, well, maybe I'm not sure how. I've literally never heard anyone describe taking care of someone, including abuse. I've never in my 30 years of living,
taking care of someone means they get food to eat, clothes to wear, a place to live.
But that's only half of it.
But that's still taking care of your kids.
Oh my God!
It's just you're just sucking at it.
I'm like, I think it would have been better to go with the by taking care of. Do you mean killing them? That
you took care. Yeah, you took care of them because they don't have any needs anymore. So you took care of them, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, if I was feeding my kids with a small cyanide diet, just enough that they'll eventually like die of it.
When I'm saying taking care of your kids, you're making sure that they're all right. You're making sure that they're not, like going to die or something.
Is that physically or mentally or both?
That's physically.
As long as you provide needs.
Physically taking care. When someone says to me, "I'm taking care of my kids," I always think physical. I always think they're physically taking care of them. It means you're making sure
the mental, right? Screw the mental.
I'm not saying that at all. I'm not saying that at all. You're saying that.
That's right. That's what that's what it's coming across. I mean, am I the only one?
I don't know what your parent did to you, man, but I legitimately feel sorry for you because you have a completely fucked up view of parenting.
No, you're just putting all this
fucked up in the head
in there. You're putting all this,
I literally
ideally, you're correct. Ideally, you're correct. If you're taking care of your children, you're making sure that their health is fine. You're making sure that their mental health is fine. You're making sure that they're going to be well balanced adults growing up. They're not out there breaking the law and stuff like that. But that doesn't mean that other parts aren't taken care of, because not every parent does all that. But they're still making sure their kids got a place to live and their kids got food to eat and their kid isn't out like breaking the law and shit. They're
why do you so whenever we add in other stuff, you're like, no, that's not part of taking. But when you're like, they're not breaking the law, that's mental. That's not in the physical category. That's in the mental one. So are we now including mental into taking care of?
It's such a subjective term. It really is. I mean,
okay, so maybe we should go behavioral because that's more apt here. If they have maladaptive behaviors caused by the lack or the neglect or whatever from the parents.
But I've always maintained the fact that my parents raised me. My parents took care of me. They were just shitty at it.
I mean, that's just excuse. Actually, no, never mind. You know what? I'm just gonna let other people talk.
Because I can't, with good conscience, say that a person who neglects a child in any way, shape, or form is taking care of them.
Hang on.
That's your definition. That's your personal definition of what it means.
Athena, get your words out and say what you want to say.
Well, no, I mean, I'm just sitting here listening, and yeah, okay. Look, on the one hand, you can't take care of of somebody in physically, but there's the mental aspect too. Like, I know he's agreeing with that, but I feel like he's kind ignoring the just, dude. Honestly, yeah, okay, okay. If say you have a kid, that. Let me try again. Say you have a kid, that spends their entire life being neglected at home, but but it has their physical needs met, and versus somebody, versus somebody who's homeless. It, like, you know what I mean? The kid who just gets his physical needs met is going to be, okay. I know it's kind of subjective. It's going to be way more fucked up than somebody who's out on the street. Yeah, they're both bad, but at least the guy who's on the street is still getting human interaction. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. So what?
I give up.
So
I mean if I were a homeless guy and I had human interaction, fuck the human interaction. I want a place to live. I want food to eat. I want I want warm clothes. I don't want to live out in the street. Fuck all that human interaction shit. I want those things taken care of.
Somebody, look, I have to ask
hang
you. Did your parents lock you in a closet? Okay,
Yeah,
go ahead.
No, they didn't.
It's like, but then how do you know how to interact with other human beings? If you've got your 3 meals a day and you've got a bed, a roof over your head, that's fair enough. But if you don't know how to socially interact with people and say, this is how you don't put shitty toilet paper behind the toilet, you actually flush it down the toilet, which is what Mom has said about her experience of looking after her own grandkids. They're socially inept.
Yeah, but they're not. They didn't starve to death in the street.
Yes, but they're shitting and pissing all over the place.
You're basically saying that it would be better to be a homeless person starving in the street than it would be to be a person who had his physical needs met, but he can't function socially.
She's not placing priority over the basic human needs. I don't think anyone else here has actually placed that priority.
Your definition of taking care of kids.
Our definition includes
would mean that millions of kids across the entire country of the United States are being neglected every day.
Okay, yes. Let me just 1 second. Do you remember when Ceausescu? It came about where he was all the orphanages in Romania. Forgive me, I might get this wrong.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
Oh well.
Well,
okay.
I mentioned.
Let me just. Okay, wait. So there was orphanages, as far as I understand it, orphanages in Romania. Okay, and the kids were fed, and they were changed their shitty nappies. Okay, the diapers, but they were mentally stunted because they had no physical contact and sort of emotional contact. Does anybody know what I'm fucking talking about?
Yes.
You're describing neglect, emotional and mental neglect.
Thank you.
But that's the point we're trying to make. You're saying they're taken care of. Yeah, okay, their physical needs are met, but they're still being neglected.
Yeah, okay, that's a different thing.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I cannot say and be truthful that my parents didn't take care of me, because they did.
Physically.
Yeah.
Physically? But mentally, I don't know whether
not
this
really,
is a term.
Not really, no.
So they
don't know.
Here's how I keep on approaching. So it is a complete package to say that they took care of. You can put a caveat on the front, and you could say they physically took care of me, but you can't say that they took care of you.
And what you guys, in light of all this, what you guys are saying, that Shanny is neglecting her kids. In a nutshell, that's what you're saying.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And I don't think you're alone. But
okay, what do you think, though?
I think that I don't know. and I think that they're obviously, since I've seen her kids on tape, that they're getting their physical needs met at least. And
Right.
the other
But
thing, I don't know if Shanny and Rev are on camera. I don't know if there are other friends. I don't know if there are other family members involved. I don't know.
I would say this, right? If they go to school, that's fine. So they get interaction with other kids and they're doing their other kids' things, they're interacting with kids, teachers, blah, blah, blah. But you need that love aspect, that interaction with a parent. Oh, hang on, excuse me.
And like I said previously, I have seen a couple of videos, clips of a video where Shanny is in the car driving, and she's got her kid with her, and she's not smoking a joint or anything. And I think that she was like putting lipstick on or something in the mirror while a car was idling at an intersection.
Yeah, usually people kind of get high before they start driving. I mean, it's completely possible to be inebriated and then drive.
Well, she didn't seem to be. I mean, I don't, like I said, I don't know what that woman's doing off camera. I don't know what's going on when the camera where the camera isn't pointed. I don't know.
The thing is, I think we're having a go at you, David, and it may be kind of harsh, but it's kind of you're really going on Team Shanny, and you don't have the full picture as to. There's kind of like several people on this panel. As PG, even Scott, have you spoken? I don't know whether you've spoken actually. Scott, do you want to say anything? It's like a lot of people here have seen different aspects of her. You may have only seen one aspect of her. So, there's a lot of tales that we can tell that we have seen, and you just not believing us because you've not seen it is kind of why we're a little bit harsh. It's just because you don't believe us. And it's like I don't want to say you're calling.
I believe that's probably what happened then. I don't believe that's the case now.
Yeah, but we've only seen these things like last week or the week before. So hang on. Does Scott want to say anything? Sorry, Scott.
Can you hear me okay? Okay, there we go.
Yeah.
Okay, I just want to make my mic. I'm just gonna lay back for a quick second because I'm just trying to digest everything that's been said. So that's a lot to take in. But I mean, when you're talking, when you're talking about neglect and stuff like that, and saying, well, if they're fed and stuff like that, well, there's a crack house that has food too. There's you just because they're fed and clothed, are their emotional needs met? Are their educational needs met? There's a whole big caveat, not just of clothes and food. You have a woman who's right now doing a live video, smoking dope, and she said, my kids came in here and said, I love you, Mom. Okay, so that kid is walking into a smoke-filled room of pot. Now, I've been to shows. I've never smoked pot before, but I've gotten contact high. So you mean to tell me that that's a good environment for a child to be in? Where there's a marijuana-filled smoke haze?
I can't defend that.
I mean, that's a really good point. My mother, actually both my parents never smoked, marijuana around us. I'm pretty sure they did when they were younger. But anyway, when my mother would smoke indoors, she would go to the laundry room, or she would go out in the carport. She was very conscious of not to smoke near us because it was her choice to smoke. But for Shanny, she didn't seem to have that type of discretion. Now I have to bring up, if Shanny got her kids taken away from her and she was quote unquote taking care of her kids, well, none of the things that her or her parents ever said that the kids were they weren't eating or they weren't properly clothed. It was a behavioral issue is what caused her to get the kids taken away. So how can we on the one hand acknowledge that she got her kids taken away because of some inaction that she's taken, and then also claim that she's taking care of the kids?
How did she get them back?
She got them back because her mother, and then the mother-in-law promised the court that nothing like that will ever happen. It's actually in this video. In the next 5 minutes, she'll actually say it and put up air quotes. She was going to be the guardian, pretty much, along with the mother-in-law, to ensure that Shanny did not fall off the rails again.
Wasn't there? Didn't her mom put a video out a while back saying that Shanny's kids were peeing in bottles or something like that?
Peeing on the floor.
On the floor.
I saw that for the first time like a day ago, and I was pretty disgusted. And then I was like, this can't be right. And it's like, then I heard went to a video where Shanny was speaking, and I think it might have been one of Glute's videos that I happened to take a peek at, and she was saying that the child was too terrified to go downstairs, so they were urinating in bottles and putting them on the floor, and then they would accidentally get knocked over or something.
And then isn't that the responsible parent to remove the child from that environment if that's the case? Why is the child still there?
Yeah, that's the puzzle. And the thing is, why? Okay, the child. I actually heard one of her children on tape say that. He said that he was so afraid of his grandmother that he wouldn't go downstairs because he'd always be yelled at, screamed at, whatever, or hit or something. And I don't know if the word hit was actually used, but anyway, that he would be at least verbally attacked every time he went downstairs. And Shanny said she wasn't aware of it because she was at work when this happened.
Yeah, I have a few issues with the retelling of that story. I actually sat down and rewatched when the child was telling the story. The child's not telling the story. Shanny's coaching the child. The child is responding to the way that he's been coached.
I was just going to say that, yeah.
A child, because I can tell you, as someone who has a child, my son can tell me what he did all day at school and not have nothing for me at all. I don't need to elicit any response from him. And so I guess Shanny forgets that some of us actually have kids, and we know when a child's telling a story or he's repeating something someone said. They have completely different posture. They don't even look in the same direction when they're trying to remember something that they did as opposed to remember something someone told them, because they're more bashful, because they're trying to put on a performance. So
I find every part of that story nothing. I find every part of it just messed up, and it's like, okay, if that situation was going, I mean, I personally would not tolerate urine in a jar anywhere near me. And if any of my kids were doing that, they would get in trouble for it. And I would tell them, you're not an animal. You use the bathroom. And if they say, well, grandma keeps yelling at me, well, then I say, well, then I will have a talk with grandma.
And that's a rational thing to do, right? That is a very rational thing to say, hey, what's going on? The kids are saying, X, Y, and Z, and then the adults sit down and see what's going on. There should be no reason why Shanny thinks that it's an acceptable excuse because, we were scared of grandma. What the hell do you mean you were scared of grandma?
Can I just say, I've just been away for the last couple of minutes, but I would want my kids to be semi-afraid of their grandma. Or nan or nana, or you know what I mean? Because
I was never afraid of my grandmother.
No, but do what Nana says. Do what Nana says. If Nana has rules in Nana's house, that's what you do.
It's authority figure.
Of course. I mean, I have my nephews, and if my nephews are afraid of me, it's kind of in what degree? In what degree you're talking about? It's like, yeah, don't draw on the walls, or Auntie Blue will be cross at you. That's fair enough. Absolutely. So, you wet your pants, wet your trousers, because Auntie Blue will be mad at you. That's fine. And so if they're going to go off and then say to their mom they're scared of Auntie Blue, well, in that context, they'll be scared of me. And I don't care. You're not going to draw on my walls because I'm going to smack your bottom.
For one, I don't know why her mom and dad would have tolerated. As soon as the first time I would have smelled an odor like that, and then I'd be like, I'd immediately want to know why it smelled that bad, and believe me, I'd find out immediately why. and I'd be like, "Are you freaking kidding me?" You know, it's like out, all of you out.
I have a question for David. Kind of speaking of maybe fear is the wrong word, but you've been in here for a while. I've been listening for maybe about a half hour, 45 minutes or so. Shanny's been live for 86 minutes, but yet you're still here talking about her. Why aren't you going to her room asking her these questions?
Because you all invited me in here to discuss the things that I may or may not know about so far.
Yeah, but
And
you can't you alt tab and go into the chat room and ask in the side chat?
No, I'm not interested in looking at Shanny right now.
But you're in the room talking about her.
Because you're talking about her.
And so
I'm talking about things that I've seen up to now. I'm not talking about things that I haven't seen yet.
But again, if you're tight with Shanny, why aren't you asking her these questions?
I'm not tight with Shanny. That was you people keep saying I'm up her ass, but I'm not. I'm not. I'm just discussing things that I like. I'm not that interested in every damn thing she says.
Okay.
I'll see like her hangout, like say I'll have it in my feed or something. Like I'll see that she's live. I'll go to her live chat or whatever it is, and I'll listen to a bit. I might make a few comments. I'll watch for like maybe 5 or 10 minutes, and then I might leave. Usually that's what I do. And if there's
do you think that Shanny respects your opinion?
Probably.
Okay, so again, I've pointed out, and a lot of people have pointed out, that there she is smoking pot inside of a room with her kids in there, but yet you are still here not saying, hey, you know what, I'm a concerned friend. If she respects you, why don't you just type in the side chat, you know what, hey, probably not the best idea if your kids are in the home with you getting high in there. Why don't you
do it? Why don't you do it?
Well, because one, she's got me blocked, and she's got everybody.
Yeah, I'm blocked as well.
Yeah. It's just a valid question. I mean, I'm not trying to pick on you, David, but it's a valid question.
Because I'm not interested to do it right now.
That's interesting. So the welfare of the kids isn't keen on your.
Oh my God! You want me to put on some spandex and be a superhero and just charge into the room and start?
You said earlier, David, if there's evidence that the kids are being abused, then you want to see it. Did you not say that earlier?
No, I did not say that.
Yes, you did. Yes, yes, you did.
Said, no, what I said was, if you see evidence of abuse, and you're convinced that there's abuse going on, and you don't put it on blast, then I'm not interested in hearing about it.
So we put it on blast.
On blast now.
It's on live. It's on blast live.
And we have recordings of it, and you've already said you've been witness to it, and you don't like it, but now it's not of your concern.
Hey, you're saying that the kids walked into the room and he's breathing pot.
Yes. She said that about 15 minutes ago. My son walked in here and says, "I love you, Mommy," as she's blazing up a doobie or whatever y'all call it. A blunt, so I can sound cool.
So then you have the kid get a blood test, see if he's got THC in his system.
Earlier, David, you said that you had a problem with her smoking around the kids. In fact, we had an entire conversation not even 5 minutes ago where I brought up my mother and her smoking cigarettes. So you forgot about it that quick.
You want me to? No, I didn't. You want me to leave this chat right now and go in her room and get in her shit?
No,
you don't have to leave the chat. I'll tab, dude.
You could do it as she's doing it. That's fine when you were actually witness to it.
Okay. Let me call up another browser.
What? Do you not know how tabs work?
I find it amazing that you're concerned
what are you
that you're not
about?
concerned, and when there's evidence, you're not concerned, and it just kind of flip flops back and forth, and then an excuse comes up.
Because I'm concentrating. I'm concentrating on one thing at a time here, man.
This is actually the one thing. This is
Shanny. No, we're in a hangout right now discussing, things she did in the past, not what she's doing today, right this second.
But dude, this isn't a big, complicated multitask situation. I mean, I can alt tab if I wasn't blocked today.
Bitching, man. Let me do
I'm not.
I have 2 separate windows open, probably 3 tabs each, not including Discord.
Okay, the one that says "moving on, pushing forward." Is that it?
I have 2 windows open.
Yes, that's the one.
17 tabs between.
Okay. Okay, I want to turn her volume down a little bit. Okay, there we go.
Yeah, she looks great
We
in
all
that video.
So, okay, let me see if I can't get in the chat section here. Okay, Shanny. Why? Let me see. Why do you let your son?
You don't need to narrate.
With your hot smoke in the bedroom when he comes in.
Okay.
I got to fix some of the typos here.
I don't think editing matters.
All right, there, I posted it.
No.
Let's see what she says.
Well, I'm screen sharing right now, so we can see what you posted. I can make bacon and have us hang out and do all this at the same time. I'm a god.
You're a
No, wait,
talented
you didn't
dude.
invite me over? What the fuck, Drake?
I just started making bacon.
If you hurry, you can make it, Xavier.
I probably could.
You probably could. He gets across that fucking bridge in like 5 minutes. I don't know how. Oh yeah, I do. He speeds.
Oh, I don't have her volume.
I just have a flux capacitor.
I can't hear what she's saying. I have my volume down.
Hold on. I'll play it. Silence right now.
Hello.
And there's
silence, my old friend.
and there's her marijuana cigarette.
Huh.
It's a joint.
Sorry.
Is she talking? I got the volume up.
My volume's up, and I can't hear anything.
Nothing? Okay.
How about this? Because this is
Yeah,
not
she's
what
talking.
we've done, but you know what? Send it to them anyway. It's a plaque, and it says, "The greatest parents on earth. I will never take for granted how greatly I am blessed for when it comes to parents, Mom and Dad. You are the best. You nurtured and protected me, and taught me with great care, and every time I needed you, you were always there. If you could look into my heart, how quickly you would see the special place you hold, and how much you mean to me. May you receive the blessings you are so deserving of for your caring and your sharing and each sacrifice of love. And may you carry in your hearts these words forever true. No parents anywhere on earth could be more loved than you."
Is that a greeting card? Sorry. Hallmark.
I was just gonna say that this week's Shanny show brought to you by Hallmark. It's like you should do like a commercial spot.
No, it's brought to you by Adam Sandler.
What was it? What was she saying? What was that?
It sounded like poetry going off of Judeo-Christian values about
Really?
mother and father.
Oh, it's lovely. Beautiful.
Yes.
Have the kids eaten breakfast yet? I mean,
well, the question is why is she, okay? It is 11:27 where she is.
Oh, really? That's disgusting.
But why is it? Why is she in a completely dark room?
Yeah,
Sunday's a day of rest.
Is the sun resting in fucking that state?
She's a vampire.
No, Fabio's a vampire. Get it right.
Yes.
Have you ever
seen? Have you ever seen Fabio tired or sleep?
Or in the sun?
I've seen him in the sunlight. I haven't seen it. And like, god damn it, of course he eats garlic. So I think that I've poked a significant hole in your theory.
No, he's a daywalker.
No. He eats garlic because they put that out as false information so that when vampire hunters would try to kill them, they would bring garlic, and then the vampires would just use that as seasoning.
Wait, so in your world here, Italians are vampires?
No. Just Fabio and the other vampires that are also Italian.
Can't let them know we're onto them.
So does that make me a double vampire? I mean, I know stupid.
No, you're albino.
I don't know. Personally,
oh yeah.
I don't think
vampire. than Fabio.
I know.
I don't think I would be smoking pot on Hangouts personally, if it were me. But
If you were a vampire.
no, if I were like living in a place where pot is legal and I want to smoke pot, I just like drinking. It's perfectly illegal to drink. I just wouldn't do it on camera.
I've done both, so I can't say anything on that fact.
I mean, that's me personally. I just don't think it's good behavior.
You don't think it's classy?
No.
There's absolutely
But
no
I know
class going
a
on.
lot of people that I'm on decent terms with that aren't classy.
Well, I do have a question here. What part of getting obliterated and not paying attention to your kids is good parenting?
Not one bit.
Okay, then I think like whether or not you want to call it abuse or not by any technical definition, that is what she's doing. I mean, this is a girl who on a live stream recently said, like someone was asking, well, what if the school calls you and you have to pick up your kids? She said, quote, I'd be able to call an Uber. I don't worry about it. And this is someone who is not willing to remain sober to be there for their kids if their kids get in trouble.
And she's also claimed that the reason why she smokes a lot is because she's in pain a lot.
Do you think that the sibling in pain has anything to do with the fact that she weighs 3 times what I do?
Yeah, and also she's got every day she's got a little stream called the Wakey Bakey Show. So there you go.
Okay,
But my point was when I raised could she smoke anything to relieve her pain? She could smoke, something,
CBD.
and so she's going through all the different kinds of flavors, let's put it like that she's got. Because she wants to smoke the different flavors.
Do you smoke Cheech and Chong's signature weed strain, Maui Wowie, because you're trying to relieve pain or because you're trying to get stoned?
Okay, me and Drag can defeat this easily. Me and Drag are both veterans. Me and Drag both have medical conditions that cause this.
Xavier.
Pain every day.
Xavier.
And neither of us do weed to compensate for that pain. If we were in a medical state, we would be using the cream that Sam has to rub onto those areas, but we would not be smoking to relieve pain.
Wait, you use my jizz? What?
Yeah.
Hang on.
It is
Sorry, I'm a
it
child
has
and I
special
just had
qualities.
Xavier.
Yes.
Did you say you was a veteran?
Yes.
Oh, okay, that's fine. I didn't catch what you said. Okay.
Yeah. So he and I both, even though we're out of the military, we still are in pain every goddamn day. We still suffer from a lot of the same mental illnesses, but we don't do what Shanny does. And actually, I don't really know anyone who smokes like she does for pain. Like what she does is for recreation, right? That's his excuse that she says, well, it's for my pain. No, that gas mask is not for pain. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I mean, you don't like. There's
this
a
was my
difference.
point.
Though, is you can actually buy cartridges of like vape cartridges for vape pens of stuff that's purely CBD. That's the pure anti-inflammatory part of it. So like, there's no excuse here. Like she is obviously just, she's obviously just trying to get high. Like I think that's like fairly clear. And if she wanted to work on her pain, like I guarantee a large portion of her joint pain, and I know it's going to sound mean, but it's the truth, is because she's really fat.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Because I have pains too, and when I lose weight, it doesn't hurt as much.
But that's the thing, right? Like, in what world are we going to say that this is for a health thing?
Well, you see, Sam, she needs to smoke the weed to maintain her appetite.
Yeah, because that's what's necessary.
Oh, man.
But there's no way that you can look at this where, like, listen, and you're talking to someone who is pro-marijuana. So, like, but there's no way in her specific case where you can say she's not just using this as a drug the same way that an alcoholic drinks to comfort themselves. Like, that's, like, she has a psychological addiction to not being sober.
Damn, that's messed up.
Well, it might be mean. It might sound mean, but like you're not disagreeing with anything that I'm saying.
Well, no, not really.
Then like, is it just that I have the balls to call a spade a spade? Like, is that it?
Yeah, I don't think you really have a lot of fondness for Shanny. Therefore, you're not. You really don't care.
Well, fondness or lack of fondness or fondness, right? Like the logical conclusion is not that she's smoking to relieve pain, because there's a way to do that, you know. Because let's say that, like, okay, she has like all over body pain, and so it's not practical to use like a CBD balm, right? Like, let's grant that. Is everyone else willing to grant that?
Sure.
Let's say, just for the sake of argument, right? I don't believe it for a second, but for the sake of argument, then she could get a CBD cartridge. Like, there are companies that advertise that only produce CBD, which is the anti-inflammatory component of marijuana. Why would you use a THC-infused strain? Because THC is the part that gets you high. It's almost as if she's just smoking to get high.
And why would you put a gas mask on?
I haven't seen the gas mask.
Well,
why would you have a gas mask rig?
Yeah.
She's offline now too, by the way.
She'll be streaming in 5 minutes again.
That's true.
But like, I'm not saying this to be mean. Like, there are ways. I have talked with Drag on the phone, and I've talked with Drag and Xavier in person, where we have said things, and part of the goal was to be funny and mean. This is not me being funny and mean. This is me just being honest.
Yeah, the mean stuff y'all haven't even heard.
So like, I'm kind of in question here, where like a person who's willing to abandon their kids essentially for the sake of them getting high, in what world is that not something that deserves possibly public criticism, and B, just not one of the more horrendous things you've ever heard? Because I got to be honest, I'm not even a parent, and I had 2 good parents for the most part. So it's not like I'm someone who's especially sensitive to watching, you know, quasi abuse, but yet, you know, it was horrifying for me to hear. Like, that's just a thing, right? Like, shut down the room. Sorry.
No, it's just that we really don't know what to say. I mean, it's messed up. It really is.
Then what's the point of defending her? Like, I don't understand. Like,
I'm not defending that. I'm not defending that.
Then what are you defending?
I was defending all the other stuff. This part I can't defend. I can't defend this.
What's all the other stuff?
Like she's, you know, not taking care of her kids and stuff like that. Or,
I literally just listed an example of her not taking care of her kids. She's willing to get high and pass the buck.
We already went through this. Taking care of the kids to me is more than just, you know, than just making sure that that their mental health isn't you know, is taken care of. That, you know, it's also the physical stuff.
I'm not disagreeing with that, but I mean, first off, like, we don't see how the kids eat or anything, so like, we can't.
Well, they don't look like they're going hungry.
Well, I mean, but she could just be feeding them burritos all day. We don't know, right? Like, I would not say that Shanny takes care of herself physically, but that's beyond. Like, we don't have direct access to that, but we do know that, like, part of abuse.
You can't say one way or the other.
I just said that. But we also know that, like, abuse extends to emotional things, right? Like, taking care of someone it has for a long time. Like, if you are neglecting your kids to the point where they are pissing on the floor, like, I don't know in what world that's not abusive. You can get your kids taken away for doing shit like that.
Okay, this why. Okay, go ahead.
Hang on, sorry, David. Just quickly. Mom, in her video, was talking about the children and how they were not used to eating let's put it in quotes, regular food, food at a table, food with a knife and fork. They were baffled by it. From what I took that Mom said in her video, it's like they were spitting it out on the floor. I mean, Christ Almighty, that's not good.
Sabella says that she was also getting high the other day when she said they were sick and she would not take them to the doctors or feed them. Please remind
Well, this was the one that I saw.
That was the same one? Okay.
Well, I think it was. I think it was, unless it was the next day, where she told one of her children to go back to their room and rest. And my point was, if he's ill and he's seeking his mom, she's telling him to, and he could be sicking on himself, shitting on himself. It was disgusting.
So when my son tells me that he's sick,
exactly.
Okay, well, all right, let me see. The first thing I do is go verify it. I don't tell him just to go to bed and just don't bother me. Like I have a thermometer. I have know where the Vicks, because you can't be a good parent without Vicks. I have different types of it's a parenting joke, but the different type of analgesics that I can use at a kid's train. And to see like what's going on. The first response isn't just to shoo them away like that. That's incredibly callous and neglectful, and it's not taking care of them physically. Like that is a direct example of her not taking care of the kids physically by just shooing them away when they are sick. So I don't know what other example other than her punching them in the nose. I'm not sure what else to say. And by the way, I'm going to end this in about next 20 minutes. Yeah, we had a conversation about it during the live stream, how she should be taking him to the doctor. So that's from Sabella. I'm quoting stuff from the live chat, my live chat. I have multiple windows.
Okay, now here's a question I was going to ask. With the mom made the video where she's talking about the kids urinating on the floor in her house, and in the bedroom she gave up to Shanny, no less, the master bedroom, and how it was so nasty it took them weeks to clean it. And the thing is, as soon as the mother and father had discovered that there was something wrong by noticing the odor, they would have gotten to the bottom of it immediately, and they would have ejected the people immediately because they're disrespecting my house in the most incredibly bad way, and I would not tolerate it for 1 second. And so why did she let her stay there all that time?
Because it's family. Because it's family.
I wouldn't care if that. I mean, no, that's crossing a line, a serious line.
Well, Shanny has done that consistently. Like if you actually go back and watch the original shower video, the mother mentions that Shanny has done this several times to her, where taking advantage of her in her own home. And so then when the episode after Chris, where she had to move in, it was about the grandkids, and she specifically states that the reason why they lasted that long is because she was scared for the welfare of the grandkids. And so what ended up happening was that supposedly the grandmother had said, they threatened to kill the kids, some crazy shit like that, and the cops were called. And then that's when Shanny took the kids and they went to a motel, and then afterwards Rev picked them up and yada, yada, yada. But yes, the reason why the grandmother put up with that is because she was afraid for her grandkids. And to that, I do understand, even though that it goes against all logic, it is about the kids.
But that makes sense.
But it was the kids that were peeing on the floor.
Right.
I'd be like, okay,
yes, but they're kids.
Okay, then no, I wouldn't put up with it. I'd be like, okay, you're no longer in my house because you're pissing on my floor.
David, I don't mean to be. I'm not being sort of like intrusive or insensitive, but do you have children?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, there's no way you can really understand
I have fathered two kids, but I didn't raise them.
It's really hard to express to people if you have not had and have been actively raising kids how strong that connection is. And like I said, it defies logic, because you want them to prosper. You want them to be, because it worries you, right? When they're in a bad state, it worries you knowing that you're capable of taking them from a bad situation, and you don't, because that's a reflection again on you as a person. But Shanny doesn't have that. She has, it's all about her at the end of the day. And that's what it comes down to. The grandparents are better parents than Shanny is, just based on the amount of shit that they're willing to take. As creepy as it is that they're on here, whatever, but my goodness, it is on the backs of the grandparents that the kids have prospered this much.
Well,
Not
that's what
Shanny.
it seemed like that it was made up when they described it, because I couldn't imagine how anybody would tolerate that. And then when I went to Shanny's video, and she pretty much confirmed it when she was saying like when she had her son saying why he wouldn't go downstairs, and I'm like, how? Why would you let someone stay in your house if they're pissing on the floor? I'd be like, okay, the only way you even possibly even remotely stay in my house is if you're on the back porch or you're in the basement. I mean, like, damn. I mean,
yeah, in a small town where people know them very, very well, that's going to look real well to have your one of your kids and your grandkids on the back porch. Yeah,
I mean,
that's going to
well,
go down real well.
I'm not letting someone piss in my house, man.
His piss can be cleaned up. Like, you can't repair that image, that public. Like, Shanny can never go back to that hometown and look people in the eye now that they know kind of the person she is. According to Shanny herself and the grandparents, they already know what kind of person.
I don't know. It's just maybe it's because of the way I was brought up. I mean, I wouldn't have any compunctions whatsoever to do something like that if somebody was disrespecting my house that much. I mean, I would be like, I don't care who you are, you're not doing this. I'm not tolerating it. In fact, you're damn lucky I don't kick your ass.
Yeah, that it's like I say, I understand the aversion toward it, and I'm not agreeing. It's a failure on Shanny's part that the kids are pissing in bottles and on the floor to begin with, but the fact that the grandparents tried to remedy the situation, tried to work with her, is a testament to their patience, not their abuse, unlike Shanny tells everyone. Like, that right there should tell you that Shanny's been making stuff up, because why would you tolerate something from somebody that you're supposedly also abusing?
I don't know, because it's either she puts up with it or she's homeless.
Well, okay. Well, then what Shanny was saying would be a lie then, would it not?
I don't know, man. I just
well, she's saying that the parents abused her and her kids, but then she's also saying that they let her and her kids stay there, and that they pissed on the floor and tore up their house. How do you abuse someone but then also allow them to tear up your house?
Well, it's like in the case with my folks. There were a few times they did good things, but most of the time they did shitty things. So
just occasional abuse in between, just abusing each other.
Oh no, occasional nice things in between all the abuse. I mean, but it's nothing is quite so open and shut. I mean, it's not that black and white.
Fair enough. But if someone's actively abusing you and you're just pissing and shitting everywhere, they could easily just have you thrown in jail for property damage. Like, wouldn't that be easier than allowing you to stay? Or like, there's so many things.
Because abusers get off on committing the abuse. How can they do it if you're not there?
Sure. And so if they want her to stay, they're trying to entice her to stay. Why would they also then charge her money? Wouldn't that be something to drive someone away?
Oh, that's what my folks did. I mean,
okay. So, but they charged Shanny, and Shanny actually made it a point in several videos to say that all her mother cared about was money. I mean, there's just these little things, David, that I pay attention to that doesn't match up with anything that I've ever heard of or experienced.
There's also something I'd like to sort of remark. David, do you realize that your experience is not the be all and end all of what it is to grow up or raise someone or anything like that?
Well,
like,
I understand
we
that.
grade it on the scale of like,
I understand that.
To what I went through.
But I can't base my decisions on what other people experience. I can only base it on my own.
I'm sorry that I'm older than 14. I don't really know what to respond to someone saying that. Craig, you didn't experience racism as a kid because I didn't.
Right. That's exactly how it works, right? Just
what? No, I'm saying I can't say that this is the best way to raise a kid or that's the best way if I don't have any knowledge that that's what occurs.
Well, okay, so no one here is saying they know the objectively best way to raise a child, right? But clearly letting your kids urinate on the floor of a place that they're staying is not good parenting. I think we all agree to that. I would hope you agree
absolutely,
to that.
Absolutely. Like I said, I'm probably over the top on that compared to the rest of you. I just the relationship would pretty much be done at that point.
Yeah, but I mean, that's also, like Drag said, you don't have kids and you don't have a family around you. So, like, clearly this is like, you can't just take like, this is how I'd feel. That's the correct reaction. Because it's not how the world works. Like, I hate to be the one to break it to you.
Yeah, it's kind of a weird thing that, I mean, David, you view things through your lens, and I got that, but I can't view what happens with Shanny and her parents through my lens because I've never done the things that Shanny has done to her parents. I probably never will. But I do know people who have had different experiences, and I take that into account with certain patterns. And so if there's a certain pattern that Shanny's showing and that it contradicts the things that she's saying, and then there's confirmation from another party about or against the things that Shanny's saying, then that would kind of indicate that Shanny's not being very consistent and that she's more than likely not really telling the truth. I mean, we can just look at the police reports themselves and verify that, which I'm pretty sure the parents have access to. And I actually, and if this, I'm pretty sure mom will see this later. If she wants to bring up the police reports that she had mentioned in the previous video, or the CPS report where they took the kids to verify certain things, just to exonerate the parents, that would be very interesting, because then I guarantee you Shanny would make videos again changing the story, even though we have the original stories, so that would catch her in yet another lie.
Okay, I mean, I could get that because I'm in the same state. It's public record, right? I mean,
oh really?
Yeah, I'm in Minnesota.
Barring all the stuff that she's done in the past, or you say she's done in the past, is she still that way today?
Well, has she actually stopped being addicted to a substance and actually taken an active role in raising her kids?
Well, I'm talking about this stuff where, like, you were talking about all this crazy stuff, like the urinating on the floor and all this other crap that people keep talking about that happened, years back? Several years back? I don't know.
Right. When she lived with her parents in the
It
apartment,
wasn't
the
that
house.
long ago, was it? That's when her husband left her, right?
Chris. Yeah, that was around the time Chris left her.
Okay, that was a little more than a year ago.
About a year ago, right.
Okay.
So now she's in Colorado with Rev, living in a different residence.
Oh, so she is in Colorado.
Yes, no, that's been verified.
I originally guessed Colorado, but she didn't confirm.
Yeah, no, Facebook told on her. So yeah, she's in Colorado.
And anyway, so I mean, is she still like that now? Is she still like the unhinged person you've been describing? Is she that way today?
I think that's a fair question. Now, what would we use as a criteria? Let's say, is she taking her role as a mother very seriously? Is she attentive to the kids' needs? Is she acting in a selfless way, being overtly concerned with their well-being and as far as their education, their physical and mental health? I would have to say probably not. She seems more preoccupied with YouTube streams and being intoxicated, and by her own admission. Like we mentioned earlier, when what she said about being sober enough to go retrieve her child from school, that an Uber could take care of that. Not her. She doesn't want to alter her habits and her behavior in order to go get her own child when the child's in need.
Okay, this is what I would like to see happen. I would like to see a live stream where the family's doing regular things, not getting high, sitting on the bed, but doing, like, having dinner together, or maybe sitting in the living room having a conversation, or maybe the kid is talking about what he did in school, or just regular normal things, not this getting high on the bed shit. Maybe that could go a long way towards people seeing her as a little bit more stable.
Well, the thing is with that is that that's what normal people do, yes, but normal people don't film it. So
well, I mean, all these accusations are being made. So if she made a video like that, she could point to that and say, "Look, this is what we do."
But they're really not accusations at this point. These are actually now proven fact that is on video of her doing and saying these horrible things. Right? I mean, it's far beyond accusations at this point.
Okay, well, I mean, the kid breathing the secondhand smoke, that is something that
Shanny's worst enemy is love of live streams. Let's be clear here.
Yes, but would I have to have like a I don't know, like a blood test or something to prove that this kid is breathing secondhand smoke or being affected?
I mean,
by
you
secondhand
can
smoke?
also see it, right? Like it's not exactly like she's, quiet about the fact that she's smoking weed.
Well, no, okay. The kid comes in the room while she's smoking pot. Now,
I'm sure a video would be fine.
For me,
that's
that's all you need. I mean, that's all you. Maybe we don't know. Is the kid getting her contact high or not? I mean, do we know?
I think that's irrelevant in this case. Like, she is involuntarily exposing this guy to.
So
this
is there
kid to
is
it.
there some sort of where in the state she lives in? Is there some sort of statute or something where she could be held criminally responsible or in some way for that?
I mean, I'm guessing
Like-
it's under child abuse laws.
Yeah, not criminal. Well, yeah, not criminal, but yeah,
Neglect or something? Maybe
neglect. Yes, child endangerment is what it'd be called.
Okay, even though the substance is no longer illegal.
Okay, David, let me ask you this question. I have a 15-year-old son, and let's say if I have a beer, can I give him a beer too? Because it's legal?
No.
There you go.
I mean,
but what I'm saying is, shouldn't you have to prove that the kid actually got the substance in his body? Shouldn't you have to prove that?
It will be dry, we've got clear skies, and those winds are coming.
Yeah, I think the video is proof of that. You can't walk
it's proof he
into
went
a
into the
room with marijuana smoke and not get marijuana in
It's
your
proof he
system
went
unless
into the
you
room,
know
but it's
how
not.
marijuana works.
It's okay. It's proof he went into the room, but is that enough? I mean, do you need proof that he actually got high from it?
I think it's just ingestion. The crime is ingestion if you're underage. Doesn't matter if you're high or not.
Well, then it would be in your system. It would be in your body.
Okay, like, are you stupid? Like,
no, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying holy crap, in order for you to be able to make a case and prove it, wouldn't you have to prove that the kid actually got high?
Okay, so Drag, you've seen me drink a beer. Did you need a blood test to prove that I drank the beer?
No.
This is how
No,
stupid you fucking sound.
fuck that. What I'm saying is, if you're going to make a case
that I ingested alcohol.
No, if you handed the goddamn kid the joint and he smoked it, then yeah, that's definite proof. But if he just walks into the room and then leaves, that's not proof that he got high.
So I'm on Colorado.gov.
It's not about getting high; it's about ingesting. Like, do you not understand that? Like, the crime is any amount of the substance in your system.
Sam,
like, did you never get caught underage drinking?
Hold on, guys. Hold on. I'm on Colorado's website right now. Hold on, David. I'm on Colorado's website right now. You want to guess what it says about secondhand smoke? Take a guess what it says.
I wouldn't be able to. I don't know.
It's bad.
Protect second under I'll tell you, colorado.gov/Pacific/marijuana smoking -and whatever secondhand smoke whatever. Go all the way at the bottom under secondhand smoke, and it says secondhand smoke from marijuana has many of the same cancer-causing chemicals as smoke from tobacco. On the first bullet, it says protect your children and family from the effects of secondhand smoke. Don't allow anyone to smoke in your home.
Don't allow anyone to smoke in here. That means anywhere in the house. If she's smoking and there's kids, she's wrong.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
Okay.
Plain language.
You got her. Then you got it. That's what I was asking for. I was asking because
where did the blood test come from?
Because that's the only way I know if you can prove that someone has THC in the system after the fact. That's the only way I know.
That's weird. Colorado doesn't seem to agree with that.
I'm not a goddamn pot connoisseur, okay? I don't know drugs. I haven't smoked weed since 1986. I don't know shit about it.
Okay, so Drag has told you that Shanny's kids are kind of in danger, in quotes. So
then you would be correct. You'll be correct if he's quoting that law, if he's actually quoting the law, and he probably is. Then because I don't have it in front of me, but anyway.
I'll show it. That's fine.
There you go.
Okay, then you guys should turn her in then.
You guys, not you.
You're the one making the deal. Why should I? You're the one that's got all this
You can
evidence.
see it though, but you can see it. You're seeing it too.
And David, you just wrote on Shanny's live stream, why are you smoking pot in the room with the kids, or why are you smoking pot in the room with the kids, right?
Yes.
Okay, then you're part of you all too.
The concern just dissipated instantly, man. It was amazing.
No,
like smoke in the breeze.
It went up the chimney, straight up the chimney.
Okay, back the fuck up. I'm just now finding out about this shit, and you're jumping on my fucking case? You've had this information the whole fucking time?
Well, I think everyone who has half of her brain.
Then why are you waiting for me to do something about it? Then why are you waiting for me to do something about it? Because you want to see the fucking drama unfold. That's why.
If you enter a room where someone's smoking pot, you are going to get marijuana in your system. It's like kind of the way that diffusion and air work.
Well, you're a hell of a lot more of a pothead than me, so you know, and I don't. Okay.
I've never smoked pot, and I know that.
Well, maybe you know people who do. I don't. Okay, I haven't smoked pot since 1986. Okay, so and you've had all this information all this fucking time, and you're jumping on my shit when I found out about this just 5 minutes ago.
It's not my fault that you don't know how marijuana works.
So get off my fucking ass, you motherfucker, and do something about it your fucking self. You fucking asshole. You fucking asshole. Kiss my ass, suck my cum.
This is bad.
You jumping on my shit, and I didn't know about this shit, and you jumping on my shit? You're jumping on my shit. The only thing you want to do is create drama on this. That's why you're doing this shit.
No, wait. Is Von Hilton your father?
Fuck you.
David, you also stated earlier that your credible source is G-Man, so, I mean...
I didn't say my credible source was G-Man. You're saying that. I said that I heard him on video saying that Rev was lucid. And I've seen Rev be lucid.
I think we've all just... the thing that Drag just put up about the secondhand smoke, we've all just learned that, to be fair. I mean, I've just learned that. So we're not all sitting on that for like the last... 30 days, and now we're laughing at you because you've only just learnt it. We've all just learnt it.
Well, most of us kind of assumed it as common sense, but
well,
I mean,
common
fuck
sense.
Me.
Yeah. But just written down, like seeing it now.
Cool. I mean, I didn't think it was cool.
Down. Chill out. It's fine. We've just learnt that now in print from the Colorado Council. Blah blah blah. We've just learnt it, so it's fine. So we've all just, it's one of those things. So we're going to take that on board now, and then you can go and do what you've got to do with those facts.
Yeah. On that note, I'm going to go ahead.
What about the rest of you? What about the rest of you? What are you going to do?
I'm going to go and take care of my family, unlike some people.
Make sure to pee on the floor, though.
Yeah, I'll make sure everyone pisses on the floor, and then I just expose my kids to all kind of substances because that's what the parents do.
In here.
So, so I'm going to give everybody a last word, and I'll start from my screen, left to right. So, Athena. Athena, Midnight.
This has been a shit show. Sorry.
Fair enough. David.
Yes.
Last words, comments, concerns.
I just don't know what to do or say.
Fair enough.
Brilliant. Okay. Yep. Scott.
Blue. No, Blue.
Oh,
my
me?
screen.
Oh, am I next?
So you can all judge me all you want.
Me?
Go ahead, Blue.
I don't judge David. I admire that he came in here at like 1 on 10. That's brilliant. And my parting words are: be excellent to each other.
And yeah, I got to get ready for my evening at work. So
okay,
I'll talk to y'all later or not. I don't know.
Fair enough. All right, Positively Godless.
I really don't really have much. I know that Shanny said that she did get a visit from CPS about a month ago. Whether that's true or not, you could take it as a grain of salt. She's really not a very honest person to begin with. And you can see her life continuously unravel on camera, and that's what her main addiction comes from, is I'm done with the drama. But then she comes back to the drama. So it's just a vicious cycle that we've gone through for years now. So thanks for the entertainment. It's been a while since I've been in a hangout, so it's always cool to hang with y'all.
Yep. Sam?
I was just making breakfast and just hopped in here. I'm drinking coffee and a green shake, which I don't think Shanny knows what that is. So I guess that's fitting.
All right. Xavier?
I'm happy that I got to meet Von Helton Jr.
What a dick. All right, folks. Yeah, I don't plan on doing this regularly. I just decided that I wanted to take some time and look through this because it is another part of the saga and the discord and mayhem that is Shannyville. So I will finish the rest of the video later. I probably won't record. I'll probably just end up watching it and masturbating and crying or something. But if you enjoyed today's video, feel free to do whatever you feel is necessary. Cry, jack off in a corner in a fetal position, naked, or just get high and neglect your family. That works too. So on that note, I will.
So when I get high and jack off, is that the same?
Yeah.
Technically, my children.
Yeah. Well, your children have an interesting playground. It has 2 eyes, nose. Anyway, folks, I will bid you all adieu. Thank you for watching, and see you.